Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures, little change to kick off a brand new trading week, coming off a bit of a lackluster performance on Friday. We did get back to positive territory following the non-farm payrolls number. If you remember back on Friday at 8:30, that came out a little bit better than expected. The unemployment rate in the U.S. dropping to 5.8% from 6.1%. Remember, the prior month with 559,000 jobs being added on the month. Overall, the S&P just 0.2% away from all-time highs. We had that intraday all-time high set back in early May. We'll keep an eye on that coming up this week. This week's major economic release is going to happen on Thursday. Key inflationary target, the May CPI number, is going to come Thursday at 8:30 a.m. We'll talk about that later in the week. The squeeze stocks back on watch once again this morning. Not big moves in the pre-market, but definitely actively traded. We'll have a look at AMC here coming up. Tesla opening back below 600 for the third straight day in a row. More news surrounding Tesla and the Model S. It's Monday, June 7th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. Look at how things stand at this point this morning. Look at that. S&P dead flat so far. We are looking at 0.1% for the Dow. NASDAQ little changed also. Everything else pretty mixed at this point. Crude a little bit lower. You can see Bitcoin lower, while Ethereum getting a little bit of a pop to start the morning off. It is a brand new week. Good morning, guys. Monday morning here. We're looking at a little bit more calm to start off the new week this morning. There are individual names to get to, of course. Tesla canceling the Plaid version of the Model S that Elon was talking about that was going to have, I mean, for us, it was like 800-kilometer range. For the U.S., I think it was around 600 miles, 500, 600 miles, something in that range. So that's not happening because he said the one they currently have is so good they don't need to make another.
Right. that's the reason for it. Look, obviously, it's going to be an interesting week. Anybody got like $2.8 million they could lend me so that I can like get that seat to go into space with Bezos and his bro? Well, okay, I'd want to go to space, but I don't know if I want to do that. So Bezos in the news because he actually wants to go to space. It's going to be, I think, 20th of July coming through. So, you know, hopefully things go well with that. I wish all the luck in the world. I didn't catch, Sean, I never caught that fight, so you're going to have to tell us all about it. I might watch some highlights of this Floyd Mayweather bonanza, but it's going to be an active week in the market, if not because of earnings. I think because some of the unwind of what's going on with some of the squeeze stocks could cause a little bit of a volatility here, and still lots to trade. I mean, you have Chewy end of the week coming with earnings. C3 AI, which I'm already in, has their expiry lockup, so there's plenty happening. It's not just about the earnings season, which is wrapping up here, so it should be a nice week.
Yeah, and then look at this. This is happening again right now in Bitcoin. So, like right here. So Bitcoin just starts going at 829, okay? And then our tweet about it going to be a big week for crypto here, right here. Big week, should be a big week for crypto here, was at 828. So I don't know. Obviously, you guys are either seeing that note and running this up, which I don't think it has anything to do with it, or we just got lucky one more time. But there goes Bitcoin. Nice little move upside there. Quick little $500, like a big move actually, considering what it's been doing the last little bit. But we'll watch Bitcoin today. We'll watch everything. Yeah, I mean, it was a fun fight. I mean, boxing has really lost. I mean, obviously, we're waiting for that Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight. But besides that, there's not that much else to watch. I really like watching Jake Paul because it's Snoop Dogg and all those commentaries. But he signed with Showtime now too, so I guess that I don't remember who they were with, but I guess it's going to be different commentators. I kind of like those guys just chilling out. That's why I was watching it for fun. But amazing that a guy that's never had a professional fight lasts 8 rounds with Floyd Money Mayweather. But at the end of the day, everyone gets paid, and that's what it's all about. So we'll wait to see. But hey, look, I'm looking forward to Jake Paul versus Tyson Woodley. That should be a fun fight as well. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, a little bit boring, but it's still good. We'll be here today to trade AMC 49.50 right now and still going. I like the C3 AI play. I just got to get into something right now. I'm flat as of right now.
Yeah, the squeeze stocks, as we've been calling them the past couple of days here, definitely among the most active once again In the pre-market, before we get too far ahead of things here, it is a little bit negative, guys, on the overall futures. We are positive now, but as we saw when we came on there, we were, trying to get back to positive territory, coming off a week where, we did get back to almost all-time highs. If you remember, 0.2% starting the morning. I believe it's 38. We'll talk to Arun here coming up about the futures, but it's 42.38, I believe. I'll double check here. All-time highs for the ES, but ever so close. I mean, everyone was talking about, the world coming to an end about a month ago as far as the market is concerned and the sell-off that was imminent, but here we are, right back to all-time highs.
I mean, you still hear some people talking about, the chance that there's going to be a, correction, like with that 10% or whatnot, which, I mean, ultimately, I don't know, like in these types of markets, those corrections can be pretty good. And look, if you don't take this high eventually, that 4238, like you mentioned, you're probably going to see a little bit of something. I'm not sure what the catalyst would end up being for that bit of a rollover. Like people keep talking about inflation, and it's already here, and we're getting some reflection that could be slowing down some of the names in the market and some of the those growth sectors. But at the same time, we're still here, still at the top. And my gut says you probably want to have a little bit of cash just in case there is that bit of a pullback. Just given so much stagnation and in a lot of the bigger names in the market, there could be some value plays to be had. But I'm just interested to see what catalyst there could be to take us down through that bottom. And I want to hear Arun's thoughts on like taking out that top, whether that's a momentum play through or you're actually looking to fade it.
I mean, we still have the summertime trade, right? I mean, you have to remember that. I mean, this is going to be obviously a completely different summer than we've ever had with the crazy reopening happening. So I would still say, I mean, look, if you're not into some of the big names right now, you can start chipping into an Apple or get into the Qs if you like the NASDAQ 100. But I think that, Apple's been sort of lagging here. It's still one of the only names below, and I got to get rid of that. Still below the 50-period moving average. I mean, there's a few of the names, but as far as the fact that we got the S&P at all-time highs right now, and Apple is off of its all-time high of 145, I think you can hide here. You can hide in some other dividend plays. We've talked about even a beat-down name like AT&T, something like that with a big dividend, or Verizon. You can hide here for the summer. There's dividend ETFs. There's the S&P 500, SDS, I believe it is, that you can get the dividend there from the S&P 5. So, there's lots of names to hide in, and that's typically what you do in the summertime. I don't really rotate at all. I just sort of stick with the game plan. But hey, if you're a little bit nervous, the NASDAQ, look, back to positive right now. And I don't think there's too much to worry about. What I'd get involved with, like I just said, is some ETFs if you're interested in holding and you didn't want to have specific names because you're worried about what's been happening. Look at the Qs. We're almost at right now the triple Qs all-time highs again. So that's going to be 340, 343. Yeah. 340, 350. So you're not far away from all-time highs across the board. I think you can hide in some dividend plays, and they'll probably won't get smashed over the summertime. So yeah, I would say big cap tech and blue chip dividend plays, even like a JP Morgan, like spread it out. Take some tech, like take some Apple, take some JP Morgan, take some Google, and just stay away from some of these newer names, and you'll probably be okay. But there's lots of opportunity all the time.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring up Apple there, Sean. I was reading over the weekend, the S&P now 12% on the year, so up 12% on the year. Apple's actually down 5%, so definitely not acting like the Apple we're used to. Let's bring in Mark Roberts here, get his take on what to expect. Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies, joining us. Good to see you, Mark. Welcome to a brand new week here. It's an interesting one because we have a lot of moving parts, I guess, as far as we were talking about summer trading, lower volume, lower volatility coming into play a little bit here. What do we expect as far as, we have the jobs number Friday, we have the CPI number coming up on Thursday this week, another kind of inflationary target. What do we overall expect for the next week or two from this market being right here at all-time highs?
I think the purpose of Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary at this point, is to throw out the headlines to make the market a bit more comfortable. We know inflation will get into that 3% area. Mr. Powell will probably, in his next comments, will mention tapering thoughts have begun. This is trying to be transparent to the market. The market seems to be taking it in stride. So the only thing I would have to say, which could begin to see some selling, would be an excuse to take some profits versus actual news items. there is if you would call, lightning of tech on rallies, and still the value dollars coming into the market.
I want to get your thoughts on tech because of what happened over in the UK on the weekend as well. But let's talk about that. You know, it's almost turning into somewhat of a four-letter word, that tapering that you keep hearing in the background. If we do see that accelerate into maybe Q3, Q4 of this year, is that enough to kind of give us a reason to come back in a little?
Yes, it would be, but it's a question of how it's said, how it's expressed, and when it comes relative to where the market is in its loftiness.
So more to come, obviously, when it comes to the government spending on bonds. But yeah, let's talk about these tech stocks because it was kind of quiet, I guess. There wasn't a lot of attention around this, but the G7 passing this new 15% minimum tax rate for those countries that are included in that group, obviously. What does this mean overall for the Apples and Facebooks of the world?
Well, the good thing is it's not happening tomorrow. They still have to sell it overseas. Places like Ireland will fight it tooth and nail. I would imagine lobbyists will be all over this globally. So yes, it will happen. When it happens, it's not tomorrow. It's not in the foreseeable short term, but it will happen at some point.
You were mentioning, you know, the thought of lightning when it comes to some of these tech names on any kind of rally or any kind of show of strength. I saw that note on Sunday. You know, Apple down 5% on the year, the S&P up now 12% on the year. Is there room for, you know, an Apple to give us a nice little move here to make some of that back?
Yeah, you should see some of it coming back over the next few days as they start releasing more of their product launches. That usually helps. But on balance, I think these stocks may be sputtering in here, and this would not be the area I'd be running into. You could play tech in another way, perhaps. The General Motors of the world, some of those kind of stocks, which are autonomous cars and electric vehicles. That would be the way I would try to play tech going forward through the industrials.
We came in on Friday and saw some weakness return to some of the travel names. The airlines specifically got sold off pretty hard. They are higher in the pre-market here. Has this reopening idea or reopening trade kind of run its course at this point?
I think you're going to see more of the airlines leading the way. But it's backing and filling, it's profit taking, nothing unusual. All my friends are now traveling. As I heard over Friday, some of the Midwestern wealth managers are now starting to do business trips to Texas and Chicago. Their companies are putting them on planes. It's starting slowly. Will it get back to pre-pandemic situation? As far as corporate travel, no, but domestic travel, all the seats are filled.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing the only. I started the show this morning, Mark, and welcome here, talking about Bezos and the seat that's going to get filled when he goes into space. I don't know. Are you going to put some coin down into that auction? I hear it's at $2.8 million if you want to ride to space.
The question is, do you want to sit next to Jeff Bezos?
Ouch. That's a little harsh, Stockfather, but I would like. Hey man, I would take that seat. I'm more concerned about like how safe it's going to be up there, and of course, you know, anyone that does it, good for you. It sounds like a heck of a lot of fun and a thrilling ride. I want to ask you something because I mean, actually, both Sean and I are in this trade right now. And maybe just in a general sense, because C3 AI, and just not to put you on the spot here, because I know we're just talking a little macro, but C3 AI has its share lockup expiration today. Now, in this particular situation, you know, this stock has already been taken to the woodshed, whatever you want to say, taken to the woodshed. Like it's already been pretty crushed here. So you get a share lockup expiration in a set of circumstances like this, where you've already sort of pulled back well over 100% from those highs. It's made a bit of a bottom, and then it's been essentially selling hard for a few days into that low. Now, the typical, hey, go ahead and sell it when, when the lockup expire comes through in a weak name, that kind of still stands free. And of course, I'm talking a little bit of a day trade here for me, but what are your thoughts when you see something that's extreme like this? Is there any kind of a shift in your experience as to how you approach a lockup when something has already been sold so particularly hard going into it?
The 50-day moving average is 62.78. That's an area I watch very carefully. That seems to be the cluster relative highs over the last 5-6 days before that breakout toward 80. Now the fill back. So I would watch that very closely. Typically, it would be a nice long trade in here if it holds. But I'm going to bet that it starts to move lower than that and starts to look at that 61.2 area. That's where I'd rather get involved.
Okay, interesting. Because I mean, I got the short on it like 64 here pre-market, so you kind of can tell which way I'm leaning here. We mentioned we'll talk about automotives for a quick little second because on a big run, obviously has been Ford and in GM as well. And you start to see, the first sign of what I would say is some healthy pullbacks. And this has been a very unique pattern on Ford. It's just you get the break from 12, and then you get there was a 2-day pullback, then a 1-day after a couple of strong up days. You get another couple of strong up days, you get that pullback. And following along this line, like how much further are we going to be able to continue in something like this? Because that would suggest to me the momentum not necessarily done here with Ford and maybe GM. Tesla again under pressure, so it feels like those that want to safely get into the EV space have made their choice, and they're continuing to make it over here with Ford and GM.
Yeah, Ford and GM are buys on dips. Pick the cluster areas, scale into the position if you're not there, and I would trade these aggressively. I think they have much more to go.
And just out of your curiosity, in the cybersecurity space, of course, FireEye, selling off a bunch of assets, and I think it's like Sentinel going public. Is there anyone that you see like sort of standing out here? Because increased competition, I think, coming through. FireEye got actually beaten up, and I found that interesting. Man, kind of was on the short side of it the last time we talked about this trade. I know Sean was as well. But they got beaten the last couple of sessions, and my chart tries to load up here. And there is, of course, incoming I guess, competition into the sector. But at the same time, all you keep hearing is, okay, quantum computing is coming, and these threats are not going away. Is there ever a value, just an obvious value in something like this at like an 18, or is there another name that you think is a heck of a lot better? And we talked about some CrowdStrike, some Palo Alto previously, but at some point, is there a value here?
Yeah, I think so. I think the biggest problem is, and again, this is not a scientific number, but I'll guess it's less than 25% of the major corporations in the U.S. have enough of a defense system to hold back either malware or some other cyber attack. I think it's sad because this happened, years ago. I was in Target in Minneapolis years and years ago, and I got hacked from that. And I'll venture to bet Target's system and some of these others are not much better than they were 5 or 10 years ago. Yes, these stocks trade nicely, CrowdStrike, Palo Alto, but they're almost systematic where to buy and where to short. The charts just continue to tell me the same thing. Their points of entry, their points of shorting, and right now they're not looking to break out in any form.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I mean, there's actually a SPAC, a Centrus acquisition, which is apparently acquiring some quantum computing company I don't know much about, but I got to look into it because, like you said, it's just everything is so antiquated. Maybe not so antiquated, but there should be, you'd think, a little bit more excitement in this area. Maybe that's where it's going to be. Off the top of your head here, just anything that's really catching your interest for this week. I know we've got like Chewy, not much in terms of earnings. We got Chewy later on in the session. Are there any individual names that are standing out for you here?
Well, I've raised in some of my portfolios 10% cash, in actually an IRA, 30% cash. So I'm looking at Pepsi, CVS, Accenture, ACN, AVGO, EMKR, great name to look at, and SMG, Scott's Miracle Grow. They pounded the heck out of it, doing some homework on that.
Ooh, Scott's a good one there. And not too familiar with MCore, but I'm going to have to add that one to the list and check it out there. That's EMKR that you mentioned. You know,
That was $350 a number of years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we'll definitely have a look at EMKR at some point. And Sean was talking about high and dividend names, and you talk about Pepsi, which is one I happen to like a little bit as well. And it gives you some security if we get these little pullbacks here. But EMKR, every time you give us a little something here, you know, I pull up an impressive looking chart, and I mean, look, it may not be the day trade, but when I see a chart like this, it definitely piques my interest, especially as it looks like it could be breaking through 10. So once again, Stockfather, thank you for putting something on the old radar. I think we have an interesting one here.
Thank you very much.
All right, best of luck for the rest of the week. If you decide to put a bid in on that flight or want to sponsor me if you want to, because I'll go into space, let me know.
Okay, yeah, I will.
All right, take care, Mark.
Enjoy.
All right, guys, let's have a look at upgrades and downgrades. A few notable ones on here today. DKS, about 3 days in a row, I want to say, some analyst moves on that. Lululemon down here, we were talking about last week as well on an upgrade side today from Wells Fargo. Workhorse downgraded by Cohen today. It's worth mentioning Lordstown, guys, got an anti-compliance notice from the NASDAQ as well. So Ride, one to watch. And DocuSign back on here as well.
That's the wrong side. DocuSign's on the, on the downgrades? No, that's not right. It should be on the other side there. Yeah, I mean, Lordstown, that notice came through, I believe, on Friday and got absolutely like beaten up here. Now, I'm going to favor, look, I like C3AI because I'm shorting it right now, but I'm going to favor the south side of this trade. There's just not any pre-market activity. I kind of feel like as it presses towards like this 1265 in the afternoon, which was a bit of a bottom, and then 1286 up here, those could be two levels to watch on Lordstown, but I just, with no volume yet, I kind of feel like we have to wait to see how this one opens up. And you look at the daily chart, and this is another one of these. I mean, all the EVs kind of look exactly the same here. Found a bottom, breaking through the 50 period, and breaking to the high, and then a little bit of a pullback. You know, with that notice, doesn't mean they're getting delisted anytime soon. But of course, that's not exactly a good piece of news, and then they catch a bit of a downgrade today. So I'd favor the short side of this trade, especially if any of the EVs start going south side. I guess Lordstown might be the first place to go short.
So guys, we had a monster week last week, and thank you for joining us again here this week. Shout out to Shakib. I see you've changed your name. Hydration Nation still lives and is pretty strong. We'll wait here. It looks like BlackBerry's starting to get going here, so I think a 1450 break is pretty obvious right now to go long. I was trying to find some other spots here. I mean, all we went was long on Friday. Long, and then lost on our last long there, and we got out at 2 o'clock. But successful longs, and then we'll just look to see here. Like I was looking, I mean, 1460 is here as well. Like I think if you go long 1450, like I'm going to, which should probably pop in the next couple minutes or seconds, then we can give it back to like, I don't know, where's VWAP? 14 flat. The bottom we got to was 14. I mean, if there's any name out of all these meme stocks or squeeze stocks that I really don't like for the long term, I mean, I guess it's BlackBerry. AMC, I don't think obviously is the correct valuation either. Probably none of them are, but if any of them are going to come back down, it's probably BlackBerry. But we've seen what BlackBerry can do here, and it can just move multiple dollars. Like you just saw, I don't know what my trades were there, but like this day, 18 up to 20 in the first couple minutes. So that's what we'll kind of look for today, just to see if we get some rallies here in BlackBerry. And then the other name, of course, that I'm looking at right now is also AMC. You have to take this 50 break, so I'm going to, and then we'll see. We did have problems last week. We shorted it in the afternoon, but you have to watch out because 50-50 was a problem there. You know, a couple bounce off spots right there, and then we couldn't really in the afternoon get above this level of 51 up to 52.50. So there's areas of concern here for AMC, but I do think that there are more and more opportunities. Quickly before we go back to Brendan, let's look at the imbalance locator. BlackBerry here on a buy, and then AMC on a bid as well. Okay, so right now they're all there. Oh, good, nice to see PaySafe up 3% and a bit as well. So yeah, not much on here as far as size-wise, but it's the right names.
All right, guys, we're going to jump into some of those squeeze stocks here in a second. We'll get into A number of them, because there's a lot of individual names that we weren't really paying attention to on Friday, kind of moving around once again this morning. In the meantime, that is the link you need to go to grab the free note. The note gets sent out every single morning before we come on at 8:30, talking about all the stocks that are moving around in the pre-market and a little bit on why. So grab that watch list, tradertv.live. Yeah, so that was a look at BlackBerry and AMC, the squeeze stocks, the number one listing, I guess you could call it, on the watch list again this morning. 160.4% for AMC in the month of May now. So definitely the leader, these stocks among the most active once again here in the pre-market, guys. But I did notice that, you know, the workhorses of the world, the MVISs of the world, a little more active than we saw back on Friday. So maybe some volume getting shifted here once again.
It has a bit of that feel. I mean, I have Workhorse up right now, and you know, candidly, like Workhorse gave the 1435 break on Friday, and it was not nearly as good as when, you know, in the pre-market 1420 went the previous session. So it had all kinds of weakness, and I didn't get into the short side of the trade at all until the afternoon for a loser, believe it or not. And then, you know, you come in today, see up 7%, well over 500,000 shares of volume here. And actually still picking up as it's in the middle of a bit of a breakout. And I'm like you, Sean. I mean, the 50 break in AMC almost have to have it, and the breaks have almost been better pre-market for good scalp trades than they have been if you take a breakout on an AMC at 9:30. Those are usually pretty poor. But you know, we'll have a quick look at this level, which is upcoming here, and this is where my second long in Workhorse we got out. It was right at 1420. I kind of think between that price and like the 35 area, you're likely to see a bit of a chop in Workhorse. So if we can catch a little bit of a pullback off of that level, I just feel like with the volume possibly coming here, there might be bigger move. Like AMC 50 break, look, I'm going to have it, but if these break to the upside, it just feels like Workhorse could be a decent one here. And then you have some obvious support down around this 65 area on any kind of a dip. If I see 15, the way that it sold last time, it's probably a good profit-taking spot, and then, you know, thinking about that quick, like, sharp rollover at 9:30. We still have half an hour until the open, so no need to rush. But yeah, like, you know, last week we talked about focusing on 2 or 3 of these at one time, and not too many. I'm probably going to have, look, I'm obviously going to be watching AMC. I think Workhorse is going to be in this line for me. Might dabble in a little bit of BlackBerry, but I'll probably ignore like your MVISs and some of the other names in favor of these 3.
I mean, yeah, I think you have to be very specific. Like, we looked last week in Bed Bath & Beyond. Remember when we shorted 37, and that was like the #1 name on our sticky note, which is out today. I put it there. There's only 6 names or so on here, and they're pretty conservative today because, again, we're going to come in with a flat NASDAQ and a flat S&P, although S&P still at all-time highs. And yeah, Bed Bath & Beyond last week was right at this spot right here, 37, and we love to smash that, and we did it. And it was a fantastic hold spot, and we were able to get $3, $4, $5 on that play. It did come back up. These are some levels here. 34.50 back a few days ago, June 3rd on Bed Bath & Beyond. But for right now, I mean, 22,000 shares on this name, it's hard to look at that. So I think you just got to go back. We've talked about AMC. There's a few names on the list and a few levels there. I love 55. Obviously, if we can get back up here on AMC, then we'll see about taking. I mean, if we get to 55, then we are going to take out 57.50. So that's just a matter of time now. It's only 10% away. So possibly getting to 55, I don't think is unheard of for AMC. And 8.3 million shares, again, light on that side. You know, we've been seeing 20 plus million by 9 a.m. most days here when it's been going crazy. But, you know, 50 break needs to be taken just because it's a 50. And then I don't think we've had any damage to the downside here past 48.50 this morning, really, basically. So I think it's worth holding top to bottom here. That's $1.50 worth of risk when I think you can get a little bit more. We talked about where AMC stopped last week, 52, 52.50 in the afternoon. Kept trying to go, couldn't break 51.50. So maybe we're in that dollar range now. So let's just wait to see if it can get above some of these break levels from Friday. And if we can't, and we just continue to, like, you know, reject off 52, 53, then I do think eventually, I mean, look, no matter what we all think about AMC, let's just call it like it is. I think it has possibilities to moon every single day, okay? But for longer term, eventually, you know, you're going to start seeing some of these highs start to hold. And at some point, you're going to have to start to think, hey, where are we with all of this, right? When you look at a daily chart, you're not going to see much. There's not going to be much here. We haven't traveled up here. But once you get back, you know, into 35, 30, areas like that, then, you know, we've been there before and we'll see what happens. So I don't think we get there today. A 50 break looks like it's coming, and AMC up 4%. Hey, if you can take 4% every day, Brendan, I mean, you're laughing, right? So I think we got to put this into perspective of where AMC can go. But don't get caught too high on this stock today. I think it needs to break 55 before we see that 58, obviously. So
great call. Let's talk to Arun here. We'll get a look at the overall market, see what levels we need to be aware of, Arun. So we are officially 7.25 handles here, Arun, from all-time highs.
Yeah, we're getting really close. Here's the thing, right? The market's relatively flat today. When you look at the overall numbers, we're down, what, 0.1% on the NQ, about the same, up 0.05 up on the ES. So call it flat. But the story is, the overnight story is that you had the market fall from 42.30 back down to 42.15, and now we're back up to the 30 mark. That gets enough selling out of the way for us to actually take a shot at this high. The 42.38 quarter, I believe, is the high. You move that up to 42.40 for any stops. So you got to say about 10 points up, we're going to pretty much hit some stops for anyone who's trying to short off the all-time high and try to take any reads on the top end. They're going to have their stops up there. So if we can get into the 42.40 area, I think you're going to have a quick run there in stops. And then I think 42.50 is on deck there. So any selling that you would have expected looks like it's out of the way overnight wise. Now it's a matter of how much of selling is left right before the open or at the open. If there isn't a whole lot, you're going to see this thing go directly to that high. So what I'm looking at is 42.20. If we get below 42.20 again, then we have enough up here that I hesitate to even take a shot at the long. But if we don't even come back there, I think you've got to take a look at the possibility of longs, looking for longs at least, using that 42.20 as the potential stop for a long. So for now, I am on the long side. The bias is to the upside. We are coming back a couple points now, but again, it's a couple points. It's not the whole story there. So I'm just going to wait it out, see if we can catch some buy side action. If I see anything on the buy side, I'm going to go ahead and take a shot, and I'll use 42.20 as a stop. If 42.20 breaks, then I think there isn't a whole lot left to the downside in terms of support until we get to about 41.90 or so. But for now, 42.20 is the mark I'm looking at.
Great stuff. Thanks, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning. We are under 30 minutes until the open, guys. Let's jump back into what is moving around in the pre-market here. Tesla next on the list, opening below 600, or trading at least below 600 here in the pre-market for the third straight morning. If you missed it, they canceled this Plaid Plus edition of the Model S, which was going to be the extended range edition of the Model S. I mean, not earth-shattering news here, guys, for Tesla, but I mean, 3 days in a row here, we're opening to the downside.
Yeah, the momentum is it's pretty clear what we're looking at with Tesla here after it tried to break off that 600 level. Just on Friday, actually, you got that retest. We tried to hold before, but you get this like multi-day 630 resistance, and watch out, guys. That AMC came through. I took out half almost immediately when it didn't go, and now sort of sitting there at like this mid 80s. So it's kind of holding up, and I watched Workhorse also coming back down in. So monitoring both those situations while we're talking here. Look, if Tesla can't make it some kind of a push back above the 6 and then hold it, I do feel like, that recent like 580 level that I liked and got some shares could be retested. And then from there, if this is going to be like a bit of a doldrum, I would expect this 540 to 550 to be sort of like your resting zone for at least a little bit here. And I don't see a ton of upside until you can hold above 600 on Tesla. So I don't like any longs unless you're buying severe dips. It's got to be breaking and holding that 600 level for me to get anywhere bullish on Tesla in the short term. It just feels like, and as we talked about with Mark there, that GM is going great and Ford is going even better. And Tesla just can't seem to have that great news. And for a day trade, there's always NIO to be all over, and we're going to be watching some Lordstown and Workhorse. There's just Tesla, not necessarily the great day trading stock that it used to be. I need an outsized move. I need us holding 600. Otherwise, can't get bullish on this one or even interested in the day trade.
Yeah, I like the 655. I thought it was plaid, like plaid as in like a shirt, like a plaid sure, but maybe it's played. I don't know. It's played out either way. $650.55 to the upside right here. We'll wait to see what can happen there on Tesla. I think it's starred here on our list. Remember, Neil and I are trading stock equities. It's not options, but if you like a 600, 600 break, then you could buy 600 weeklies as well on Tesla. It's just kind of like what Mark was saying now. Are we in this area now of concern for major cap tech heading into the summer? And then you get Tesla that sort of has some negativity around it, as far as, obviously we talked about Plaid there, the car, and their release, but I think they're just still not releasing the Plaid Plus. So there's some of that, and then there's Elon's sort of, functionality, obviously, as he continues to tweet there, and not sure what's coming forward with all of that. So I still like a 600 break. It's still the Tesla of old. It can still get going there, especially if the NASDAQ goes. Like if we go red to green, which I'm hoping we do anyways on the NASDAQ, then I think we could test 600, and then we'll just see if it breaks. But the real level here is 660 cents on Tesla. And then, yeah, Neil talked about a little bit of, some downside there. 591, 592 held on Friday. So there's that level to look at right there as well, off of a big bump in the morning, right? So we went upside there, and then we held this 592. So you're getting close to those levels right now. If you want to pick up some Tesla right now, can't blame you, but I would watch out for 590, and then definitely in the pre-market here where we were bouncing off 575. That's the dip right there, 577. So depending on what your thought here on Tesla, again, we scalp and we day trade, so I'm not going to be holding this forever, and I don't like taking $10 or $15 losers. So I think you either got to wait for 590, 591, which is coming up, or you just take that 600 break. So I like the 600 break. Let's play momentum. My order's already in. So if it breaks through 600, we'll take the long in Tesla, and then probably hold it back to some of these dips, like where we failed on the 600 break before, 595. So $5 is well worth the risk here for Tesla. So I'm going to go long 600. Short AI, long AMC right now, and I'm going to go long Tesla through 600.
Okay, just seeing a headline here, guys, on Fubo TV popping up. This one can give you some moves when it wants to get going here. We broke 28 there on a volume spike. We're up almost 3% on Fubo. They're launching today on LG smart TVs in the U.S. So that's decent news for this stock. It can, as we mentioned, give you moves when it wants to go. We're well off this kind of 17 low here for Fubo, guys.
Yeah, my daily trade doesn't want to low, but I sort of look back to this consolidation that it's been in. So you get like this 2650 to 2680-ish area, and then you're still looking for this breakout in Fubo at like 28, call it like 28.75 or 28.66. That's what the actual price is going to end up being. So there's about almost a full dollar till you get to that break, and they're fading it on somewhat light volume already this morning back in here. Now, look, it's on a bit of a march, so I kind of like the idea of getting a piece of that momentum, but that 28.66 looks like the real break price, and then you're probably hunting for value is a bit of a pullback option if there's going to be a bit of a runner here. Finally, AMC holds above this 500. This 50 level. I actually want to see if I can get more shares now that it's holding above, because I got out some on the initial break. But Fubo, I'll probably stand back unless we get some good dip buys, because that 28.66, 28.70 area, that's the area of breakout.
Yeah, so there's some talk there of Jeff Christensen. Yeah, I didn't sell anything. I guess that was Neil mentioned getting in and out there at 50 because of the false break there, I guess. But now as he mentioned, still going. So yeah, I'm Sean, that's Neil. So I'm still holding it, and people asking, where's my out? 48.50. So I'm going to hold it until at least 48.50 here, guys. We talked about that, and that's how I plan my trades. I don't get in and then it doesn't matter where you get out. The point is that I don't get in without a stop on the downside. So thank you so much for asking about where that is. We like it a lot. I just got in more there. So that's how much we like it. So we bid 50s. We got those longs twice. I also got an 83 long, and then I just now took a 25 break. So I'm in this thing four times right now to the long and still have every single share. So let's see how far we go up. We're long at 50.08 right now.
Let's continue along. Biogen Incorporated, guys, sharply higher. Remember back on Friday, had a big move on BIIB intraday. It was actually right out of the gate around the open here at 10 o'clock. We saw a big move when the FDA came out and said they're going to review their Alzheimer's treatment. That decision is expected imminently. So again, we're back to the upside here. Nice looking chart for Biogen, guys, up almost 4% here, just hovering around this 300 level for BIIB.
Yeah, I mean, Biogen's on a bit of a break here, and of course there is that news. It's right hovering at 300, and like you said, we're anticipating a little bit of news as well. So I'd be a little bit cautious with it, but you look at this 300 level, and there was a bit of a seller through that particular price. It's already got through before. Now, this is the kind of thing where if it doesn't break, you might get a retracement play. But, you know, after the open would be ideally where you can try to catch a 300 break. AMC just got to 50.45. I like those 50s and those quarters, so I took some out at 44 there to take some profit on the way up because I've seen this thing get sold off the open when it makes a bit of a break. But you know, Biogen, because of the light volume, I really want to see this off the open. And then if you do get a shot at this 300 still, that could be well worth your while. The chart looks absolutely gorgeous. I'd just be careful because look at the sharp dip back in. When I go back to the daily chart, it was not the first time that it's been that you would see a big spike on news and then get sold off almost immediately. So that 300 level, I mean, that's like a nice little line in the sand. If it can't break that, you're probably pulling back into these 290s, which was the previous resistance. Either way, fantastic looking chart. Probably one you could look to buy some dips on. And if it does get sold, I'd almost look back into that 85 to 90 range to see if you can't pick something up if this gets sold too hard.
Yeah, I didn't look at all at Biogen. I'm just still right now focused. We just took BlackBerry long as well, breaking through 1450. So we've got BlackBerry long right now, and we just took another. Oh no, we didn't take another piece off here. Actually, I don't even have a sell on AMC until we get to 51 here, guys. So nice little double shot, 4 fills in already on AMC to the long side. Just took out 20% right now. And yeah, we'll see what it does at 50-50. Check in quickly on the imbalance locator. AMC now with a decent bid, BlackBerry with a decent bid. So we're long AMC, we're long BlackBerry, and we're short C3 AI. So a nice start to the day so far, guys, here as we go 33 cents in the money now on the AMC and then flat on the BlackBerry. So pretty much we'll be going through the list, but I have my names written down here, and if you want to find those on the sticky note, we are following the watch list, watchlist.tradertv.live.
Square, the next one. We had a big move on Square back on Friday, if you remember as well, about midday. This thing popped up when Jack Dorsey was tweeting about creating, or possibly creating, a hardware version of a Bitcoin wallet coming from Square. There was also a note coming out this morning talking about investing in solar-powered Bitcoin mining for Square. So we are pretty active here for Square in the pre-market. 215, a definite level here from Friday, just hovering below that for Square, guys.
You know, the question with Square is like how many times is it can actually make this bounce off 200 before we can get a secondary breakout and a test. At least I'm not talking about the 280, like that's fine, but I'm talking about like 240, 250. Like when can you make some kind of a march there? And there hasn't really been that one catalyst that's been fantastic. That said, there's been some good day trades for this anyway. So, you know, you put that hat on. I think that's going to be the better play. You already said 215. It looks okay on the 15-minute, but really what you're talking about here is this consolidation. It's just on 30,000, well, on a few thousand shares here, some selling through that particular price, and you just look for a bit of a break at that 215 area, and it's going to be just that. I also mentioned, I had said I would stick to Workhorse, and of course would be trading a little bit of AMC, which we're in right now. But Workhorse did that dip that I was talking about, and then it bounced off of that 1360 area. So it bounces. I didn't take it on the way down. I'll wait for it to come back upside here. I'm going to go with the tight stop at 1360. If it dips further, we can start to look at some of those other pre-market lows there, that 25 off of the open. But sort of getting this one after it made its first pullback off 14. So I am now long Workhorse. I will be looking at that 215 square break. I don't want that in the pre-market though.
Yeah, I'm just looking here, BlackBerry. I'm going to put an offer here at 15, see if we can take 50 cents right away on this. I don't know if it's going to go up or not, so we'll wait for BlackBerry. But again, the same kind of thing. We'll see if it can hold 14 flat. If it doesn't, then we'll get out. So 50 cents one way, 50 cents the other way. You mentioned Square is a little active, not a 30,000 shares, but the price here, not up 0.57. It's not as active, obviously, as I think any of us would like here in Square, but still moving around a little bit. So 215, 15, it's right here. You can't take any of these breaks right now. It's ridiculous because The spread is already 70 cents, 60, 70 cents. Once the market opens up, it's even going to be more than that. So I think you just got to play Square on pullbacks and hope that you can get something in the 210 area for Square if you liked it. I don't really like it today, to be honest with you. To me, there's no catalysts here. There's no volume, and there's not really too many levels for Square. I mean, if you look at a 20-minute chart, I guess if we come all the way down, these are the levels I'm talking about, like 210 and change, you could hold off that, but that's just Friday pre-market. Other than that, we've been really high upside on Square. So I thought the release of that crypto wallet might have been a good thing. And there's the spike up, but then they faded it the rest of the way. So I don't know. I don't see really any catalysts right now for Square. You talked about the environmental there, mining and solar and this and that. That's great, but I don't know, it doesn't seem to be mattering too much. So either get near this 220 and then we can look at that level, or back down to 210. So in between like 210 and 220 here, it's kind of just a little shady. Like if we had started up here, then I could say we'd come back down, or if we were already down here, then back up. So I'm gonna wait for Square to pull back into the 210 area and just hope we don't miss any pullbacks if that's what happens. NASDAQ turning around now as well.
Yeah, it was almost like he was testing the waters a little bit with that tweet, saying that if they do come out with something along those lines, it would be in collaboration with the overall community and based off of demand, essentially. C3AI, the lockup today for C3AI. I remember way back in December, this thing came to market. I believe it was December 9th. So finally, we are 180 days from IPO day, guys, for AI.
And it doesn't feel like it's been that long because this market's been wild this entire time. Look, we just talked about this with market a little bit here, and I got the 15-minute up just so you can see this level, the 61.65 is kind of what I'm looking at. It was a bit of a support level on this recent bounce up to 77. 3 days of selling going into this. I think you look at that 65 as like the first cover to the upside. If it breaks out off the open, I'm likely to just wait for another chance to fade it up here at like 67 to 69, wherever it happens to stop. Otherwise, I want to rinse and repeat shorts into that 61, 64 level. And of course, the other thing that we talked about is this 50 period, which looms a little bit higher than that, about 50 cents away from it. So I've already scalped like 70 cents. I then got back into some shares here. And I think I want to be rinsing and repeating to the short side as long as it is below that 65 mark. So, you get these lockup expirations and you start taking your chances going with the overall direction, and then you're helped by just the ridiculous weakness that C3AI has had in the last couple of sessions here. So I think that bolsters this move. If it breaks 63 at the open, I'm not necessarily looking to add on breakdowns. I'm more looking to add when it pops back to the upside. So when it popped here at 8 o'clock, that's when I got in some shares. I got some out, then it popped back up here, 63.60. I got some more. Probably should have taken some at 64 now that I think about it and look at that chart. But hey, that's what's going to happen to you here in the pre-market. It's relatively light volume, but I want to stay on the south side of this one.
Okay, so I just got out some there, AMC right at that 75 mark. So there it goes to the ripping to the high side. So it's a 70-cent winner right now. Valeria not with us today, but I think back tomorrow. So hopefully she'll, Prad filling in gratefully here on the chat. Thank you for that, my man. And now we just continue to go to the upside right now on AMC. So the next level of concern for me here is these levels that we've been talking about. We talked about this 51.50. We talked about 52. So we're going to put another offer there. And this is the beauty about when you believe in something. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 fills, right? 4 fills upside, waiting for this thing to crack. It's finally doing it. So we're close to our one-time daily goal here already in the pre-market. As AI screaming to the downside, there's a beautiful short there, 63.90 as well. Obviously, we came in and we thought we had missed the short. So we doubled up there and then we tripled up there. So, now we're pretty much reloaded 3 times now on AI. I mean, we're not here to play. 3 times on AI. We're also long on BlackBerry as well. So let's just keep the party going, man. You saw the fire that we had last week. Like, it was an unbelievable end to last week and beginning. It's been an unbelievable May, June. So let's just keep the party going here and see if it can't continue to run for us. So AI short, AMC and BlackBerry. For the ape gang out there, let's keep this long up to 52. Then we'll see what happens up there. But don't get me wrong, guys. Like, I have an offer now, 51.70 change to see if we get a nice $1.70 or so on AMC to start the day. And then even after that, man, we're still going to hold everything. We've got like 70% of our position on right now. So giddy up on AMC today, hopefully.
Another one that we look at quite frequently around here, BNGO moving again this morning. Bionanogenomics. Start on the daily time frame. You can see 775 to 8. Definite resistance on the daily chart. But this thing had a nice day on Friday, if you remember, closing basically near the highs, and then had a move to the upside in the aftermarket. They announced a new chief medical officer, so that's the catalyst today. Holding above 750 right now for BNGO, guys.
Yeah, look, when BNGO gets to 8, like you mentioned, Brennan, it's a good level on the daily chart. We're going to have a look, there's no other way around it. Got to have a quick look at that level. I would almost love it if it gave you that chance to go like both directions off the open, like fail off of 8 even, you roll into a bit of a short, and then you can always reverse into the 8 long. I'm sort of going to favor holding off on how much I want to short in front of 8. When I'm sitting in C3AI off the open, I'm going to have Workhorse, and we got AMC. So that's a lot of moving parts to want to short in front of $8 on BNGO. But things calm down a little bit and you get a shot at this level. I think I'd want to play it in both directions. Now I'm going to take a long break on it. Pretty much regardless, because I know some of that's going to be a scalp trade. I always make a scalp trade on a level like that and then try to hold the second half of the position. So this would be no different on an $8 break on BNGO. If it dips, maybe there's something here at that previous high, that 730 to 735. Otherwise, we'll just sort of hold out. I just covered on AMC. You're talking about that 5150. I'm going to stick with the game that we were playing last week and how this was working. But this is now headed up towards that 52. 52 half. It's a 53 was another bit of a level here in the afternoon. If only I know, because I was longing in front of it and it couldn't seem to get past it. So watch out for this. We've seen it kind of do that pullback off of the open. I think there's a decent chance it could be doing that at 9:30.
There it is, guys. We're just going to keep on hitting the fires for you guys and just keep on, let's just keep this going for us right now. We're 3 for 3 to start the day, and we're freaking monstrous already, guys. Bang, bang, bang. What's up, Trader Brad? Nice to have you beside us, bringing the luck today. Andy's wearing green, so that's the other thing. So, Miss V, there it is, wave. There he is, Trader Proud. What's up? Handsome gentleman there. Brampton in the building once again. So, okay, here goes BlackBerry, man. AMC, $1.70 now, $1.50 in the money. BlackBerry now, a dime piece in the money, okay? AI, 70 cents now in the money as well. And we're loaded up, guys. So we're ready to rock and roll. We're going to have some chicken dinner winners for you all ready to start the day. So, hey, I don't know if you're going to have any chicken with your breakfast. That doesn't seem right to me. But get ready to have it for lunch, because so far so good here as we continue to light up the fires, guys. Dap it up. This is going to be a big day for us. $1.80 now in the money, and we're getting up to these levels that we are a little bit concerned about. Let's zoom back out here on AMC. 53.50, 50. I might just put an offer at 53.50 here, see if we get some more out. But this is what happens when you believe, right, guys? Sometimes you have to put that and just believe 4 times on this 50 break, and then nothing but upside love. So we're cashing out nicely on this one. Let's see how far C3AI drops to. I have a bid at 62 even. That should tank off the open. Hey, man, we may be done trading at 9:35, Brendo.
Yeah, I'm not going to be done here, but C3, I'm going to take some out, like I said, in front of that 62, 70, 65 area. That's that 50 period. That next level down, 61, 65. And I'm shorting any pop that happens off of the open on C3, which volume should come in. I mean, it has been absolutely piss poor volume, which can be a bit of a good sign. No one's seeming to buy these values up. But I want to see this one pop off the open so we can get even more shares there. And look, there's one that we haven't talked about, and I'm going to come to next. I know with Next Decade Corp, like it's a small cap, they did get an upgrade from JP Morgan. It's been barcoding, was able to short some off of like 320s, which I'm sitting in right now, 318. It's just broken $3, and this one heads down to like a 270 area. I think it's going to be an interesting one for that short side of the trade. In the fade trade, 350, 1, 2, 3, 4 times now in the pre-market. Every time it pops, it's failed at that particular price. So if it does ever take me out at like a 325, look at that 350. It's a monster level up there. I think if this thing can get to that 350, you're looking for a long, but I'm shorting in front of it till it proves me wrong.
All right, guys, throw up those diamonds, guys, as everything's starting to go through now. 52.20 now coming on AMC. So $2 now in the money on AMC. So, yeah, we're beating up that stock right now, left, right, and center. So hopefully this just keeps on going upside here on, oh, you know what? We have this one. Let's go. Shout out to Robbie with the diamond. Oh, did that not play there? Let's go. Where's my ape? Oh, there it is. There he comes now. So Ape Gang, thanks, Robbie, for making that one. As we continue to go upside right now, $2 now in the money on this. 70 cents, not enough yet for AI. So let's just keep on going to the downside on this one with lockup expiration coming through. We saw what happened with Palantir. We're huge now. We're way over our one-time daily goal as we continue to go here. So nice movements here. BlackBerry, the only one that's really been a problem. I mean, we're in the money still 15, well, it went in the money 15 cents there. Didn't take it. So BlackBerry, we're trying to get 15s. We'll wait back to 14s. We're going to average in on that as well, guys. And then AI short, AMC long, BlackBerry long. And then you want to talk about some NEO? Why not? We like NEO here. So if you look at our list again here at the very bottom, we're waiting for 42.50. That's been like a multi-day high. I'll also post up for you guys right now because Miss V's not here, but we will post up our sticky note, which talks about that. So you guys can all have a look. If you can click on that, that'd be great. And have a quick look at what we're talking about. I said multi-day break on NIO, right? So let me call you up a chart here. I don't know if it's going to go today. The NASDAQ just down 0.2, but here's 42.50 right here. So we touched out on it on the first. We touched it almost here, 42.40. Back on the third, which is, I mean, these are just last week. This is not like a crazy trade here. As bye-bye C3 AI continues to go downside. So that's 42.50 right here on NIO. And then we always play the pullbacks. So what we wrote down on here on our sticky note, of course, was just wait for pullbacks. I'm not going to give any sort of levels on a pullback because last Friday we missed some of these pullbacks in because we were waiting a little bit too low. So hopefully, I mean, right now everything's hot fire. So hopefully right now we can get some cool down off the open and we'll watch NEO. But I think, like, you know, holding 41 makes some sense to me here on NEO if we get back to this area, which was the pre-market on Friday. But I'm going to hold off on NEO and hopefully I can catch a bounce on that one. I hope I didn't miss C3 AI there because it just went down into the money for me about $1 and we didn't, or more, yeah, exactly $1 and we didn't take it. So let's wait for C3 AI, but 4 minutes to go. Should be a fun open for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And look, I think a C3 AI pop is a chance to maybe take some more to the short side, which we've kind of said here. I want to talk Roblox here for a quick second because it held above that 100. It had held above that 100. It just, it's broken now in the pre-market, but a bit of a double top here at 103. It's been an unbelievable run. Now, if this is a fail at $100 to hold this level, I'm looking right back into, and it's about 95 half or so on any kind of a dip. I think you're looking back at like this 93 area, so that's a bit of a $2.50 range where I want to do a little bit of a dip buy action on Roblox. There is, if it done better volume, I'd be looking at a 100 break. Because there wasn't a bit of an iceberg order here that held it, but the volume was pretty low, so I don't want to read too much into that. I'd rather be patient buying the dip, but Roblox is definitely going to be on the radar in this session. Off the open, of course, I'll be watching at AMC, which is trying to pull back, but you know, this bounce back up here in C3 AI, I think does afford an opportunity off the open to try and catch some more shares in a rollover. I'm sitting in the 40s, but the stock is like a 10-15 cent spread. I am going to try to get more if I can, but I want to be at least a little bit patient with 3 minutes to go and try to give it to the open. So I kind of back my offers off here just to see if we can get a pop going into that 930. Obviously off the 64 level, but 65 is the bigger one for C3 AI. Workhorse, I mean, I don't know how, I haven't watched BlackBerry as much since I got into Workhorse, but it just bounced off of that 60 level, which I didn't add. If this was a little bit earlier in the pre-market before the open, I probably would have, but I'm going to let this one either just break 1360 and hunt for a better price, or I'll have to wait till after the market to try to, after the market open to add to this position if I can get more.
So right now, Ether tanking a little bit here. This is a one-day chart. Let's just take a quick look at a 1 minute chart here, because we haven't been talking about it enough. We did touch out there when we put out our first tweet up to 28.50. Now you're all the way down to 28. So it's not a big move. I just want to bring it to everyone's attention here that there is a move backside here on Bitcoin and all that stuff. Yeah, let's go. Is that C3 AI? Let's just keep going. We're almost... Bang! There it is, guys. Chicken dinner winner to start the day. It's smooth. $2 there on the downside, hopefully breaking 62 right there. So bang, bang, bang. There's C3 AI to start the day. You believe in it so much, you go 1, 2, 3 times, and now big time win on that one as we just continue to just destroy the pre-market. I don't like trading big shares in the pre-market, but it's always nice when you're at this multiple day. I mean, there we go. Like I said, man, it's goals are already being hit here in the pre-market. So AMC, look at this. 50, here comes the prices that we're looking for. Man, this is a big day, man. AI, short side, big time win on AI. Also AMC rocking and rolling. BlackBerry, the only one that's in a problem. Like, it's really nice when you have a $1.70 winner right now on AI, a $1.80 winner right now on AMC. And my target for AMC, I do have an offer out, 52.70. We'll get out of another piece of our AMC as this day, Neil, just keeps on walking on water.
Sean, I want to be so happy,
Let's
but
go.
I just finished missing, like, I was at 44. I was talking to you guys about, like, adding on a reload of C3AI. Of course, look, you're going to be happy when it comes to the downside, but this is a stock that we wanted to shorten a pop, and then it just absolutely tanks, literally 20 to 30 seconds after looking for that reload in that 40 to 50 area. So it is good. I'm glad that it is falling. I think it's going to be an interesting one off of that open. And then you got to watch out for that AMC. With only like 40 seconds to go, I know some of you guys are looking at Tesla and possibility of that 600. It's continuing to fall. So it's now down around these lows of the day. Tesla going the other way here. That 600 break will probably have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just tweeting this out, guys, just so you guys can follow it. Off the sticky note again, another banger there on C3AI. So there it is. I mean, if you're not following at this point, le note de sticky, then I don't know what you're doing, guys. We talked about this a big time short on there, but let's get ready to go, man. 10 seconds to go. We're already monstrous as AMC ripping faces off, and we're about to get out right now on AMC. Big win.
Yeah, 5, and we're ringing that bell. It's Maggie on the bell this morning. Miss Vive Gone Pratt is in the house. Let's go. Party started.
Yeah, the party's already started, man. We're right now like we're just entering the party.
Whoa.
So let's just get this keep going. Anyways, AMC does fail at that 52.70 spot. I wonder if we were up to something there. It literally went like 1 penny away from my price. So 52.70 coming up, so hopefully sooner rather than later on AMC. It's not even open yet, guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You want it to open up here. It's actually holding that 52.50 area. Now, not AMC, C3AI, I'm going to mess that up a few times here. Tried to pop back to like 62.80. The volume's still relatively low. It's still a couple of bucks in the money. Oh my goodness. C3AI just immediately popped down to 59. So when we come in here, you saw there was one position on. C3AI was the first thing I looked at to be short this morning. And then you can see it just popped down. I should have taken this out. Look, I'm going to take that when it goes to 60.50. That was a huge candle. I can get back in on a 60 break and get back in on any push up to 62, I should say. But that was a ridiculous candle. I want to play a breakdown here, and I also want to play any kind of a pullback.
Yes, guys, big time win on this one as we just continue to watch C3AI dip down 59 and change. Now we have bids there finally. Okay, so AMC trying to open up, still not open, man. 52.20. We're still hella long this. We are now 3 times daily goals, guys, on today, just based on the action right now. Anything could happen. We're not out of AI. We're not out of AMC, so we're counting our chickens a little bit before they hatch here. But AMC just had a problem there, actually, at 52.50. So I think we got to put at least one more order out there in the 52.40 area. Make sure we get some out. Oh, that's C3AI. That's still going 52.40 right now on AMC. Let's see what's rocking and rolling. But we're doing this, man. So is BlackBerry. Another one, guys. Ape Gang is here. We're going to go 3 for 3. That's how we do it. I told you we could be done at 9:35. Let's go.
Yeah, we're not done here. Like, BlackBerry finally went. Workhorse also decided to make its move. They're through that 14 area, continuing to push. Monster offer here at 14.20, guys. Wow, 200,000 shares at 4.20 or a while 14.20. I'm going to take a bit of a pullback trade here. If it turns it around, I want the long off of 13.75 one more time here. Brenda, what's up?
Big mover from Friday. If you remember, guys, DocuSign at it again. Just cleared that last high from Friday afternoon, 235. Big volume at the open there for Docu.
I mean, we'll kick it off for DocuSign as well, man, because I called that long for a lot of you guys as well for DocuSign. And there it is, man. Let's just go. Like I said, we now have 2 minutes until we can be done trading. 9:35. 53.50 now on AMC. How about $3 in your face right there, AMC? How about $3 in your face right now for AI as well to the short side? So back-to-back $3 winners, and AMC is still rocking and rolling. $54 coming. We're long at 50.25. Sit back, relax, guys, because we've got you right now. Bang it to the upside. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. I wasn't sure what Monday would bring, but hey, the success doesn't stop. Keep watching, keep on having some fun. There it goes up to 54. These are these levels that we're talking about, baby.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to be very happy. There's a pullback on Workhorse. We talked about that 25 here. Get some out at that quarters. That's what we're going to do. You're going to see it dip down back in here. Watch out for 55 on that AMC. I've seen failed breaks. I don't like breakouts at this time, so I will not be taking a 55 break on AMC. But I just got bingo as that pops through $8. We said we would not fade that trade. We would only go into the long side of it. It is what it is. A lot of times I would have taken that short, but no way. way, not today. We're going to see if we can't get some scalp out of this trade in the 5 to 10 range, and then look to see if there's a consolidation pullback worth playing here. So Workhorse and Bingo to the long side. And there's actual, look, AMCI break actually works here. So if you have it, congratulations. But it's sort of consolidating off that 55. I'm getting back into some C3AI, but it is starting to slow down, guys. I think maybe you got to think about pulling back some offers on this because this consolidation either gives you a 60 break or maybe you catch something around 61.50 to 62 for the short side of the trade. It can't seem to bounce much, but I feel like this could be a bit of a sucker's play if you short 61.
Okay, so BlackBerry, again, guys, now we're huge. You guys know the trades that we have on board, so don't even worry about this. $5 right now in the money. We'll take a little bit out of BlackBerry if we can get some now. It doesn't look like it wants to go as high as we'd hoped to there into the 91s. But, oh, did we just get filled? No, we didn't get filled. Okay, I thought I got filled there, but we did not. AMC now coming back into 55.50. That was a decent spot right there, 55.50. So we do put an offer around. No, actually, I don't know what happened. I thought I had a BlackBerry offer and an AMC offer, but I do want to pull one upside, man. Maybe 56, 56.50 here. But we've already cashed in. We're already absolutely monstrous. So congratulations on everybody there. Like I said, we could be done trading, but then you'd have nothing to watch. So let's just stay here and keep going. I'm only going to be looking at very specific names for you guys. Put your money where your mouth is. Use some shares. Man up. Let's go, Brendo.
Just saw Beyond Meat, guys, popping up here on volume to start things off here. Almost 4% through 150, I guess. That break kicked off a volume alert there. They're moving into the Australian market. You can now get Beyond Meatballs, guys, at 300 Coles stores in Australia.
Ooh la la.
Beyond Meatballs. Okay, well, Bingo was his name. Well, we'll drop that train in here. So BioNano, yeah, whatever. It's at 830. Just broke that 825 mark. We'll take some more shares off here. That $8 break looking absolutely fantastic. Like I said, I didn't want to short this one. Look, the daily chart is going to tell the real story for this. If you do come up here, there was a level at 850. Very, very mute. Through that, nothing till about $10. So I think there is potential for some more room to run here. But that 850 is it's an obvious place to take some more profit if we can catch that price.
All right, we're just doing the same old stuff here. We're waiting for BlackBerry to get down into the 1420s, man, and then we'll start to buy a little bit more. This is the one name, I told you, if there's any one name here out of all these meme stocks that I thought was not worth going long on, was BlackBerry. Of course, we're stuck long, so it's not the position that C3AI is, or obviously that AMC is. So we're not going to die on anything here with BlackBerry. You could see one time in, and it was in on a pre-market break, and we already we stared basically 30, 40, 50 cents in the face and didn't take it. So let's wait to see where we go from here on BlackBerry. Still thinking that obviously we can get a little bit higher. We just had our bid at 21 and it went to 24. So maybe we'll adjust that a little bit ahead of that number. But C3AI, we do have a bid lower. We're still holding out on that one. Hopefully that'll come in here on the low side. And then AMC, yeah, notice that 55.50. We thought we put an order out there, but we didn't. So it's not like we got missed, but we didn't have one out. I like that 55.50 on AMC. We talked about it, before. If we broke through 55, then we could be going to 57. I thought we would. That's why we held out, but we only went to 56. So let's see if we can retest this 55.50 area. If we do that, then we're going to get out of AMC and then just sit back, relax, like we keep saying, man. No sipping that cognac because there ain't none here.
Well, that's a good point. We can always rectify that at some point. This happened faster than I thought was going to be. This pullback in Workhorse, we got a nice top here at 1425. It got to 32, but it just dipped right back into that 1360 area. So I have reloaded, sort of rather quickly here at these 70s. It is a bit of a little faster move than I anticipated, and I did wait till it turned. But either way, it looks like Workhorse could be testing that 1360. There hasn't been that dip. I mean, you took those previous resistance levels in AMC, you start thinking about those for dip support. 52.50 first and 51.50 would be the next one. From here, only a couple of minutes in at that 55, a really, really big and heavy drop, I'd be jumping in front of that 50 level because I usually hunt for those false halt style trades there, guys. So watch out if this is really, really fast. I'd like to see it at that 51 level. C3AI is still, this is barcoding for this stock. If it breaks 61s, I want to short that pop. If it breaks 60, I want to short that pop downside. So either way, I'm getting back in when it breaks this dollar range. And either way, it's going to be a short. Brendan?
Another one that got some attention in this group last week, at the end of the week mainly, this MOSY in the semiconductor group down this morning. You can see we had this huge run up last week on some short interest attention. This one about 12% I see on the short side. So big flush this morning on an offering, guys, from MOSY.
Oh man, we're getting very, very close. I know, Niels, we're all looking for the reload on C3 AI, but I do have a bid downside here, 60 and a quarter. So hopefully we'll get smoked there, and then we'll laugh that one all the way to the bank as well, as we're getting very, very close, man, for another $3 winner here on C3 AI. So hopefully, you know what? I may just put this bid in right now and get it over with. There it is. So we take that out. There's a nice little win, man. $3 as, oh, it would have just printed us anyways. There it comes to the downside. Now we can hold, man. Now we're just cruising here on C3 AI. So let's just watch and see where this goes. We just took a bid out there at 60.38. Now we're cracking 60, guys, to the downside. This is a $4 winner rate. Like, this is good. Hey, $4 winner on C3 AI. $4 winner on AMC. Are you not having fun? I hope you are, Brenda. What up?
First halt of the day, guys. Armed off of the watch list, just ripped through to pre-market highs here and halted volatility to the upside. Remember, 5 million share float on this. That's 20% short, guys.
And whoa, that's a halt right at the pre-market top here, guys. I'm going to be all over this. I shorted it shorted off the open here, well, in the pre-market, off this 35 level, and lost a few pennies. And probably a good decision. It did roll over and was fantastic. But if I got back in, you're probably getting burned. Look, these are big levels when it gets to that $9. I think you want to hold off on doing anything too crazy till you get to $9, or fail right here, right now at this 8. So if it opens back up and does not take the 8, there is a bit of a short trade that I think you can have off of that. AMC looks like it's not doing. Look, it's not giving you any kind of a pullback here to be able to get back into it. I did talk about that 52.50, or if it could have dipped down even faster to give you like a 51 area, but it seems like it just wants to climb back into the top. I'm back in for like the third or fourth time into C3 AI. On that little bit of a break. So far, we're holding the bottom end of the range. If it holds 61, I'd take more shares on a bit of a rollover. If we get above that, I'm out and then looking to short any pops. I'm not thinking about the long trade just yet. I probably won't go long in this thing today, but I never want to say never. Another pullback happening here in BNGO. Of course, it was a great long off that 8 break, much like Workhorse, which could not hold this retest. I want to see if I can't buy that dip. This is a bit of a stronger hold on BNGO here in this 8-quarter range. If it gets down to like 10s to 15s, that's where I want to pick some more up.
All right, so we're just still cruising here, not doing too much, just watching this AMC. I'm debating right now canceling this. And we have a 55.40 waiting to get out, man. That's this level right here. But this is, again, a $4 winner on AMC. And if you don't take this thing early, then I think you're stuck. Like Neil's mentioning it right now, it's kind of just going back and forth. Like, you really got to pick your spot. So I think 53 there. You know, I'm going to cancel this. Let's see how high this can go. You know, we're going to see here. We're already monstrous. Like, we could get out now. I mean, this is already the kind of day that you guys all want. So we'll go diamond hands. Why not, man? A $5 winner on AMC. So we'll take that for sure. Long early and just waiting. Like, you got to wait for key levels. And now we'll wait for the upside. Like, here it is. $5, $6. We'll see. $3, $4 on AI. Like, you know, it doesn't get much better than this. This is the best time to trade right now. These names, you got to look for catalysts. We talked about that summertime trade. You know, trade names that are moving around. Again, though, like, do we really want to get out of this? It just ripped to 55.50 again. Am I making a mistake by holding this? You guys tell me here on the chat. Are we making a mistake? It's up to 55.50 right now and still rocking, man. This is a $5 winner. Like, I could get out, but we'll try to find out maybe a stop, maybe a trailing stop maybe needs to be hit, but I don't want to get out if we break through 53. That seems silly because it'll probably bounce right back up. So let's put in, I mean, right there, we missed another opportunity. I'm just going to do this, man, 55.30, something like that. See if we can't take a smooth $4 or $5, sorry, on this name and be happy with it. So everything working out for us today, man. Tesla, we pegged that for you as well at that 590, just bouncing around right here. We got to wait for 600 to break, or you retest lower. I think it was 575. We'll do some more work on that. But I'm going to put an offer out now on AMC and just get this out, man. How many times do we need to see this happen? 55.50 will be my out. Let's go.
Yeah, I think I'd be waiting for like 75 to 80 on Tesla here, but it is making a bit of a bounce. I mean, I just saw, like, I don't know if that's actually real that it got to 85s, but anyways, it's holding this 88 level for the time being. About to reload some more in that C3 AI. BNGO, I did get some off of VWAP here. It's now right back to this 8 even level. So this 8 break, let's see if it can hold it. I think you always have to take, this is the thing, you always have to take profit on the way up for a move like this. If you're taking an even dollar break, that's what we did. And clearly it was the right decision. Now let's see if we can actually hold this 8 even. Now that it's bounced off it, I want to see if I can pick up some more shares in front. If it breaks 8, look, we can always get back in if we like this one around like 770 to 780 or so off that lower level. So I always kind of feel like in an active name doing tens of millions of shares, no hesitation to jump out of the trade and then jump right back in. You don't want to throw that profit away that you made on the breakout. Brendo?
All right, another early mover here, Churchill, guys. Lucid, the SPAC, 5% on the day. Broke 25 initially there. It's actually holding above 25 right now. Another one that's fairly high on the short percent, guys, CCIV.
And there it is, rein it in. There's our AMC trade. We just put our target there, 55.21. Although I think I put the wrong target out because I got 31s. No, I got 28s there, 29, something like that. There's the out, almost perfect right there on AMC. We talked about that 55.27. And if you're watching and following along on Twitter, there it is right there. We just talked about it, where we're going to get out. Target out, 55.21, and there's the out. We just put that up, and there's the out right there. So follow on Twitter if you want to get some exact plays from me, guys. And it's a monster day. So let's just keep on rocking and rolling. Not going to re-engage in this short on C3AI, guys, until we get like to here again, like 62.20, 62.40. It's been a monster stock for me, although I've made double the money on AMC than I have on AI, but not a horrible spot. I just need this one candle, obviously, a monster flush down. That's kind of what we were waiting for. And again, if you look at the sticky note and on the watch list today, we've identified that both Neil and I wanted to go long, right? There's the lockup coming here.
Short, you mean?
Short, sorry. Yeah, not long. Yeah, we're both short. We both wanted to go short here on C3. Thanks for the correction. On AI there. So right now, it's just at these levels. Not a horrible spot to go short. I just think, can we get back to 62? Maybe I'm going to put one in like 61.90 or so. Somewhere like in here maybe to see about that short. But I'd rather test 62 one more time. And then BlackBerry, just to let you guys know, because I haven't talked about it much, we did average in. So we got a 21 print there. So my average price is 40. It went to 50 there, and that was a dime piece. But let's just wait to see. I think upside on BlackBerry. If not, we'd get out. I mean, what is it? It can be a 40-cent hit. So we'll get out at 14 if it breaks. So right now, all good on every front right now.
Yeah, I mean, I just covered the new short in C3AI. I wanted to hold that VWAP. It does not. It breaks that candle. Now coming back up. Now, I want to short 62s in front of it like we talked about before. But Roblox, look, 100 break, I mean, it gave you basically nothing, like 50 cents, and flush down to 97. It's trying to hold and get back to this little upside. So I'm starting to think this is not going to have the big move that I want. So we're going to look for a bit of a deeper push back into like a 96 or 95 or 96. BNGO, bingo, was a long that we're still holding on to. That one did bounce nicely off that $8 area. It's now back into the quarters. Look, I think when you get something like this, like you kind of have to start taking some off in front of that high. It might not make a fresh high. It might hold out here at like 35 to 40. So that's what I want to go ahead and do on this reload. Holding on to that long. I still have that next, but don't worry about it. Really not doing much of anything, just sliding to the downside and looking pretty good. Brendan?
Seems like a daily occurrence now, but Moderna, guys, another day, another all-time high again, 4.25% this time. For Moderna, straight to the upside. This is a 3-minute chart. No red candles yet for mRNA. They're looking for approval from the EU on their vaccine for the younger adolescents is the word I'm looking for, guys.
Good word, adolescence. Yeah, so we're going to wait for that as well. I want to talk about DraftKings, guys. Those of you watching the fight yesterday, DraftKings was all over it. And yeah, so good. We'll take that, and we'll take the money to the bank right now. I'm way longer than on this name than I thought I ever would be on DraftKings. We talked about some key levels. I'm long in the 35 area. Got some out in the 70s. Obviously, wish we would have got out of a hell of a lot more in the 70s. But now DraftKings, a nice little move back to the upside. I caution everybody that trades DraftKings because we've come back from a big hole here, $41. And I know that, baseball is here. People gamble on baseball for sure. I think now that the stadiums are opening up, it allows for more people to go to the games, bet on them, gamble on them. Plus you have football coming. I do like DraftKings, and I do like some of the stuff that I hear from them. So let's wait to see where DraftKings goes. But again, on a daily chart, that's a big move for DraftKings, so watch it. I'm not going to go long on any breaks. If anything, I'm looking for the short. As C3AI right now, man, back to day's low, guys, or close enough anyways, where I got out, 60.50 here. So let's wait to see where we go from here on C3AI.
Yeah, and we'll go with this train, and it's going to be for BNGO. Bingo was his name, or is its name. We just got up. We talked about taking some of the long off here in that 20 to 30 range. Of course, it might not make that fresh high at 854, so I want to keep playing that reload. I think you only try this a couple of times in front of 8 before you're hunting at that better price, down around that 760 to 775 area. Brendo?
Just looking at Lee Auto here, guys. NEO not really doing anything, NIO, but this one, excuse my daily chart here, but Lee Auto up about 4%, straight to the upside, broke 26. Lee Auto all the way back to 26, guys.
Oh, man, yeah, that's a good thing that not a good thing, but we were looking at NIO as well, and we were looking at that top break of 40. Oh, okay, it still might happen. Okay, I was thinking when you talked about Lee Auto there, Brendan, that NEO was going to be getting smoked as well, but right now to the high side right now for Lee Auto, or for NEO, 42.50, we got to watch out for that level. That's another one that we've pegged, guys, for NEO, so watch out for that one. Ooh, I just canceled my orders on that. And look at the dip that came in like we talked about, 41.50. Man, that would have been sweet. We weren't sure about what to do there, celebrating AI, celebrating AMC, and by the way, AI still rocking, and AMC really off that high there, so really happy that we were able to peg that for you.
Yeah, and Square looking like it doesn't want to make that break, guys. It's actually another one, like Roblox, basically heading to the downside here. After trying to break out right at the open, fading right back in. I think there's a shot if it gets back. Look, if we're going to hold up here, get right back up to that 215, I'd look for like a 215.50 break, but it really needs to start get going. That's the same thing with Roblox, which I still want to have that bit of an idea. Whoops, of course, it's on New York and not NASDAQ. I always do that with tech. I still have the idea that I want to be taking the dip. This is a little bit stronger, but I think you're probably holding off on a breakout till it gets to 101.50, and that's a price that we're too far away from to be concerned with. I got out of a bunch of that BNGO, but I want to come back to that RMED. Just for a quick second, because it did open up too strong, didn't want to short. Now it's back below that hull price. I'm looking to engage in, whoops, it actually just got. So it just got it as it retook that hull price, that 780 level. Now I wanted to see if it could have gotten to that other level on the daily, which would have been that 9 to like 925. It got pretty close before turning back over. For me, this is getting short off of that previous high here. So like that 780 to $8 range is what I want to play off of. I got 62s here. I want to see if I can't add to it in front of 8. And then if it breaks 8 even, not high of the day. If it breaks that 8 even area, I'll get out of it. And the only reason I'm not shorting it to the high is because I showed you that 925 level, guys.
All right. When it's working for you guys, it's working for you. End of story. There's nothing else to talk about. Look at BlackBerry right now as we rip to the high side. You know our price is 40, so we take some out at 50. Then we just take some out on that bump right to these previous highs of 1465-ish. So there it is, man. Another one. Another one. Guys, so we're gonna go 3 for 3, and they're monster trades. Unfortunately, we don't have as many shares on BlackBerry, and I don't have a problem telling you guys, you know, when we're ready to load up the boat, and we talked about that on AMC, we talked about that on C3 AI, so we took out the big stick for some of those trades. But hey, when BlackBerry's in the money 50 cents, you're doing pretty good, I think, anyways, for BlackBerry to be long. I don't want to be long. I'm glad to be short AI, which is now down near its day lows. So yeah, the cash cow continues, man. And again, if you're not on this, we talked about taking BlackBerry, guys, back down to 1380. That never happened, so we're holding strong. And then there's C3 AI, another $4 winner, Brendo.
Genius Brands, guys. One that hasn't been picked on yet as far as these squeeze stocks are concerned. This one also about 14-15% on the short side as far as the float is concerned, but 4.5% today on volume for GNUS.
Got that RMED here, and it's going to break. It might break this 8 even. It's consolidating off of this level here, and VWAP stands at 750. I don't want to cover anything unless it's below VWAP. When you have a tighter stop like this off that $8 level, you want to make sure you have enough room for some profitability. And I have bids all the way down into this cluster at $7 here, guys. I'm going to watch over and just go back to the stupid C3 AI. This is what happens when you don't reload at least a little bit more aggressively. This is like the second time this has happened to me. I have my offer sitting here. It gets up to that 61.50. I'm waiting a little bit deeper so we don't get any shares. Looks like it might take out the low of the day. C3i getting absolutely woodshedded here to that downside. You can count out Roblox. I don't think we're going to be able to get into that one today. And then I just want to come back to AMC. This is the top that we currently have, and this is the top that we had in the afternoon. Well, I guess on the show here, even at that 57.50. Sort of feels like a bit of a rollover potential, or at least a bit of a level where you might turn around and AMC as it extends through. I have not shorted this one in a little bit, but 57.50 does look like a decent level if you can catch it.
Oh man, yeah. Are we up that high again?
Oh, yeah.
50. Wow, AMC guys. Yeah, I thought I was doing pretty good on that out, but congratulations. This stock continues to be a spicy meatball for AMC, but that's great. We're out of AMC, but what we're not out of is C3 AI, man. We're just going to hold this forever. Down 7%. We just tweeted it out. You believe in it so much, you take it 3 times, and that's what you got to do here. And that's all that I'm doing, man. AI, AMC, and BlackBerry. I did want to look. Again, we just talked about NEO there. It comes right up to that high that we talked about, the multi-day at 42.50, and fades out from that. So maybe that's something there. 42.50 here on NEO could be a problem. I'm really surprised about DraftKings. We talked about that and how well that stock continues to hold up. So maybe there's something there. DKNG, again on NASDAQ, still holding that high. So if you like this, 52.30, you could take it. But I'm debating a short right now on DKNG, guys. This is a high flyer, probably short into this. I'm just nervous because all I did was see them yesterday all over that fight. So DraftKings right now, 52.30, a good short. If you're looking for shorts, I think that this is a decent opportunity right now on DraftKings. I'm actually not going to take it. I'm just going to continue to watch our C3 AI and our BlackBerry, now 50 cents in the money. So trading lots here today, and we're at our highest spot we've been at all day. So congratulations if you've taken some of these trades, guys.
Yeah, and I'm looking back at Lordstown. We talked about this when they got that possible D-list notice. Look, it's nothing imminent here, and watch out, that 57.50 approaching on AMC. Been a little bit since we tried the short on this one, but I am going to head to the south side on it. Wow, immediately it's like get into it, and then 57.50 breaks. Probably going to be a little bit more calm here. You might not have even seen it flash by, but trust me, I had a quick short in AMC and then it failed. I want to take ride, but it's not quite at that point yet. You look at this rollover on Friday, and that was at 13.40. I want it to drift a little bit higher or retake 13 even before I jump into that short side trade. But with that notice that they got, it should be an interesting one. And I might have just got wicked here as I was letting you guys know the plan over in Ride or Lordstown. I got wicked, as it looks like I almost made that top wick, and we're still holding the 57.50 area on AMC. Now is trying to make that breakout.
Yeah. Good breakout there. And yeah, if you made top wick, you probably won't make it for long, the way AMC is trading, guys. I just can't believe that. Long at 50 here. This will probably be your trade of the day, but yeah, damn it. Waiting there for 59s. Could have been something. We did talk about that 55 break. I mean, again, that's what it's all about, is this 55 break. As soon as that happened, we wrote it down for you. All you had to do was really hold this thing a little bit against you right there, and you would have been laughing right now. But hey, this should be a $9 winner, but we don't have it, so nothing to complain about right now on AMC. I just want to say congratulations to everybody. We're still holding our hat, man. 70 cents right now on BlackBerry. So there it is. I mean, I'm going short, longs, everything today, and we're just cashing in on all of these trades. Look where we're long BlackBerry, 14.21. We were long 14.50, out. And now we ride this thing high side right now. And where does C3 end? I don't know where C3 ends. So I'm going to do a little bit of work here and try to find out, was that 59 that we just saw a decent spot to get out there? I mean, it's a $5 winner, so you would think yes, but hey, man, we got to get greedy sometimes, guys.
You do have to get greedy sometimes. We're starting to get into that area where I'm going to have that ride trade. We just started the position. It's not a huge one. Workhorse actually just broke towards the high, so if you're watching that name, it also continues its run. But I said, Lordstown was going to be the one that I kind of liked on this end to the short side of the trade. I just started at 25. Remember that 13.40 to 13.50 area is going to be one that's going to be the out at the top. BNGO here, bingo. Now making another press. Now, it didn't actually give me that long that I wanted for more shares. I talked about getting it again, probably in this range, below that $8 range. That hasn't happened. It's still grinding towards the top. If it takes out the high, I'll try to hold a small part of the position and then see if we can't find some reloads on the way in. But it's starting to barcode a little bit. For an $8 stock, sometimes this thing can tend to go sideways. Still pretty good in the money, 30 pennies or so. I'm looking for a break of that $8.50 before we get too excited about it. Again.
All right, so 57, we think you just might have got. So right here, what about this 57 level on C3 AI? So this is a 20-minute chart. Sometimes you got to pull back a little bit to see some things like this. So we'll wait for 57 right now on C3 AI. It should be a good spot. We'll wait a little bit even. I mean, the bottom is 57.40. We're going to wait a little bit even lower than that. So we'll see if we get lucky here and catch a C3AI downside right now for $7 winner. We'll see if we can have that one. And we like the name. I may get invested in C3AI at some point. I like Snowflake a little bit better. We've talked about that. Baby Palantir. I mean, you have to like that. Baby Palantir. So we'll look at Snowflake in a minute. But here comes real Palantir now. As BlackBerry now $1 in the money and still running. So that's going to be a good trade. Or sorry, 90 cents in the money and still running. So that could be a good trade. Palantir today, man. I mean, my bid is 74. It went down to 78, 79. So we'll just try to get a little bit more aggressive next time on some of these pre-market bottoms. We're still waiting on that, but there goes, like I said, BlackBerry breaks through 15, man, and there we go, like a big, big win one more time. We love that long. We talked about that. If it holds, we love the long, and there goes the upside to 15.20. So a nice little trade here on BlackBerry. We may just get out now, put this in our pocket as we're at the day's high for us here. So AI, $5 in the money. Well, let's take out some BlackBerry in case it does stop here, guys.
And watch out this. $60 here on AMC just got almost touched, and you're getting a bit of a pull. Now, remember those halts to the downside are the ones that don't happen. You're looking back at this now 55, which of course is a key level, and that'll give you close to that 10% move, and where usually it's going to avoid that halt. So still looking for that type of a play where you get that deep, deep pullback, and you can bounce in front of any kind of a potential halt. If it were to go into a halt, I'd probably get out of that trade. If I do have a bit of a dip, it just hasn't given, look, this didn't happen. It hasn't given a strong move in. Like each one's like $3, maybe $4 at absolute best. You need like a $5, $6 pullback to get some kind of actionable trade there. I still hold that stupid next thing. Whatever you want to call it. It did come up here. It was definitely working in the money. It had actually tested that high. I wanted it closer to the high of the day at 335. It didn't quite get there, so I got no reload. If it comes there again, I still like it. 350 is an all-go long for me, kind of like BNGO was through $8. So I would stick to that next, wait for 350, but I can't short it till it actually gets to that 335 area. Or sorry, I can't short more until it gets to that 335 area. BNGO looks like it's going to try to take this top off. If it holds 8, all day long, or at least all lunchtime, or all show long, I think you can have an 850 breakout. But for now, I want to play buying the dips as opposed to the breakout on BNGO.
And yeah, we don't have to worry too much about anything because the money just keeps on piling through. So don't worry, my wife, all that money that we keep spending, apparently. We're bringing home the bacon again today. Another $1.20 to the high side here for BlackBerry. So that's another big win for us. We're just going to go 3 for 3 today. BlackBerry, AI, and AMC. Obviously, we dumped AMC. We thought we got a pretty good spot here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. But once we broke that 56, man, that was laughable to the upside there. Like that high, it just, great trading to that upside. Now you're seeing some consolidation up here. So possibly a break short, maybe in tune here for AMC. But remember, guys, you don't want to, I'm still waiting to come out here, 1490. I may get out of BlackBerry if we do break back down below 15, just to make sure that we put some money in our pocket. I'm always checking different charts. Like here's a 3-minute chart, 1-minute chart, 20-minute charts. You guys know that, daily charts, things like that. But basically, just for the 1 minute, it looks pretty good here, breaking through this 1490. Should have just got out at 1550. We'll put another offer up there if it goes that high, man. We could take another $1.30 on this. I think we should do that. That's silly not to do that. So let's take another $1. I mean, I don't even like the stock. So let's take another piece out here, 1450. We'll get out of BlackBerry and end the trade, actually. If we get up here, get lucky to get that price, man, 1540. So 1540 offer on BlackBerry if it does come in while we're throwing over to Brendan for happening now.
Hey guys, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at how things stand at this point. We are back in negative territory here for all U.S. indexes. In fact, the tech stocks not as bad at this point. They're trying to hold on. At least the NASDAQ composite there to positive territory, just 0.08 right now. The 100.2 to the downside. S&P and the Dow barely negative at this point as well. Look at small caps though. The Russell having a nice day, 0.5%. To the upside. Here in Toronto, the TSX 0.1% in negative territory. So overall, a bit of a flat start to the new trading week. Let's go over and have a look if I can. There we go. At a couple of things we were talking about in the pre-market here. Square, still kind of pushing towards day lows. 211 did hold as support initially, but sellers returning to Square now negative on the session. Speaking of negative on the session, the Sell-off continues, guys, on AI following the lockup expiration. Day lows currently for AI, guys.
This might be, sorry, I was just looking at Ford getting down to pre-market lows here, guys, but AMC making a bit of a pullback as it looks like it might test that 55 area for the first time. So it might be the first little dip. I do have Lordstown off that high of the day, and I actually want to add to it. If AMC is going to fall, I'm going to go right here and take some more shares of Lordstown to the short side. But if AMC is going to make a test of that 55, I think there could be a rollover in several of these names. And Lordstown is one that I wanted to the short side. I want to see if 55 can hold. I'm going to try to jump in. Right in front of it is 56. Come on, give me a break. 56 going to be the level. Looks like it might be 56 here first. So I'll take a shot here. I just got long 56.45 or so. I'll probably stop out at 56 and then hunt back down into VWAP to get a bit of a level down there as well, guys. I was waiting for a harsh dip to be able to pick some up and scalp through. Looks like 56 instead of 55 just reading that tape.
And part of being just so damn disciplined sometimes is a negative thing. But hey, then we wouldn't be able to cash all the time if we weren't cashing out something there. And you know what, man? There's that break of 1490. It happened on BlackBerry on that AMC pullback. So look, we talked about the correlation between these two names and between all the meme stocks. So when one pulls back, so does the other, it seems like anyways. And there goes BlackBerry. So I'm not happy with it. But hey, at the end of the day, a positive stock is a positive stock. And we're going to go 3 for 3 today on these names. So, so far, so good. Probably should have held on to that. Let's check out what AMC is doing right now, though. And it is not doing much. It does have that 56. Actually, Neil, good call there. It didn't even break 56, I don't think. 56 flat, so that was a good spot. Look, that was that jump right there. I should have put a bid downside there near 56. I can't believe I didn't. But that was a good look there. I think, did you say you went long there?
Yeah, I got 56.45. That's what you talk about. Like, you look at these previous highs, and then you look for a pullback, and I thought maybe it'd be a deeper one into VWAP or 55 even. That's not the case. If it stalls out here at 57, I think I just go for the same hunt again, and then at a lower price. Each time it does it and does not take out a fresh high, or at least even test 60, I got to think about getting long at a better price than the time before. That's what you want to make sure you're doing here. So as much as I will definitely cover this in front of the high, the next trade is likely to not be as good of a long as 56.45. It's likely to be like 55 or 54 change, something along that range.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for 56 now and then 55. People asking me where I'm going to get long or short or whatever. Yeah, it's going to, I mean, I can't believe I wasn't there. I just talked about breaking that 56 and then it came all the way back down, but we were too distracted with BB. So those of you guys with BlackBerry shares, you know what I'm talking about. That was a good trade too, but now right back upside. So missed opportunity there. We could talk about some NEO, PaySafe. What about, let's just check out NEO as well because we already talked about that pre-market. We're right at that level, man, 52.55. So I think if it breaks that right now, what's the NASDAQ doing? Not really doing too much. Let's just go long here if it breaks, 42.55. It would be the day's high. So if we can get above, like let's just go 42.61 or so here on this trade, and we'll see if we can break above. So that's what I'm looking for right now. 42.60 break on NIO and see if it goes, man. We talked about we wanted this to the high side. Okay, there it goes. I guess I didn't get any, so I'll have to see what happens there. We'll just punch in. Missed it. Okay, I must have put the wrong price. So there we go. We'll take a little bit of a price hit there and get 64s, but whatever. When you're cruising like this, hopefully this won't come into play at all. And we have our 57s there. Brendan brought up C3AI right now, barcoding, but still at it, stay low. And your boys got this one as well. So this is short 64. We'll see what happens now. If there's one stock that we love today more than anything, it was C3AI. Okay, Neo, I see you. Let's just take out a little bit. If we could take out a dime right now on NEO, we'll do it. 42.75. We'll take a piece out as this is not the best price. We don't have the best price here. We missed it by about 5 cents. So it's not the end of the world, but NEO taking out tops is what we like. And we tweeted about it. So let's take it and see what happens now. Back in, we'll find out an area of concern where to get out just in case this does fail.
Yeah, we're going to go with walking on a bit of psychedelic water. We just got out on this little push here, 258 on AMC. So buying the dips, I'm going to scalp it off to that long side. We'll see if it can't be a deeper push back into like a 55, maybe even 54s if it does fall back hard. But just back now $1. I'm looking for a better price in 56.45. I think it's going to be a deeper push in. Or if you're buying that dip, you want to be at least a little bit patient. It's a strong move upside. Stay with the trend, but I'm buying them dips. Brendo?
This Vinco Ventures just popping back up, I guess, through pre-market highs here. BBIG, remember, had a big run up on Friday on volume. Another one, guys, that is highly shorted around that 14-15% mark for BBIG.
Another one. Yeah, okay, so NEO right now, I got some levels, guys. So we're going to just basically just give it back to VWAP because there really isn't anything here. There's absolutely no point in doing anything but waiting for this stock. As there it is, we just took out the dime piece. And again, we'll just barbecue up some profits. Like, this is the way the day's going. It's like when you get some cash, and then the next thing you know, this starts happening. You start exploding money. And then the one other thing after that, what happens? When you get a lot of money, hopefully in your pocket, it just continues to do this. And this is what I feel like has been happening so far with basically the trading that we've made over the last 2, 3, 4 months, basically the last 6 months. Everything's just been working out for us really, really well. There's NEO, small break, but again, I want to get longer into here. So yeah, we'll hold a little bit of it, and hopefully it will rip up, and everything will be all good. But for right now, we'll just take out that dime, 65s to 75s right there. That's the high of the day, 74s, I guess. We never wait at the evens, so 74 is the out there. That's the high of the day, and now we'll just wait for it. My eyes are still going everywhere. Like, I wish there was more stock for me to look at here. But BlackBerry, unfortunately, that's the sad one. As I can't believe it's sad taking 80-cent winner, but still, man, dropping that off, we should have probably held on. We got scared on the AMC drop there.
So I'm going to guess that it's this one, guys. Someone just asked, I'm going to throw it up there. Yes, it is the members-only Q&A. Arun's going to be joining us here, so you can ask us anything you want. Usually that goes to my face as I'm talking about it, but there you go. So it is the Q&A today. Just wanted to make sure you guys all knew that. All of our members welcome. If you're not a member and you want to ask any question you want, do sign up today and then join us right after the show, right after 11 o'clock. We'll take a bathroom break or whatever, and then jump right back in it for you. If you're asking about how do we pick these dip buys, where do we put these targets in, whatever you want, guys. Brendo?
These cruise lines, guys, resuming this move that we've seen over the past couple of weeks, the reopening type move. Remember, we had 2 negative days to end last week for some of the travel names. CCL and RCL both coming out saying July 3rd, they will resume operations from both Florida and Galveston, Texas, guys.
Yeah, and yeah, okay, good. I'm just really happy. I mean, and this is what I'll do it for. I'll just send a cheer for the crowd because this is really all that matters. Teomir, we've had you on lots of times, mentioned you before. Good job, man. I'm glad you got all that, BB, man. It was a good trade for us and probably a better trade for you, so good trade there. And Daryl, yeah. I don't know why I'm getting shout-outs here, but yeah. Okay, I'll give you the link at some point for the Q&A, but Daryl, yeah, nice Q&A today. So, Daryl, we love you, buddy. Can't come to the Q&A. Seems like he's excited as well. So, let's go, guys, as everything just coming in for us right now. AI coming back, though. So, again, you know, we waited for $7. We have 4 or 5. 60.50 is going to be our out here. If we can get back in, that's VWAP. So, a break at 60.50, we'll get out and we'll have to say, ho-hum, we'll just take $3 winner on this name if it doesn't come through. But we're waiting for 57s, and then we'll get out at 60 half if that's what winds up printing us. But we're just monstrous. Again, today, this might be you know, one of my best mornings in a long time. And considering, you know, what we've been doing last week, you know, I'm really, really happy. We'll look at Fubo when we get back. But right now, NEO, just back to day's high, man. And there it is again. We'll just keep flossing stuff off. We're taking trades. We're making money. And not only that, but I'm giving them directly to you guys, right? My ins, my outs. And here we go to the upside. Let's wait to see what 43 has in store for us on this runner with NIO.
I might have just dodged a bullet here. Now, of course, I was talking about getting a bit of a dip into 54 and it's accelerating AMC. I was going to throw a long, have a stop down below that 54 level, and then this crazy wick happens to the downside and triggers me short. Obviously, well before 54 goes, and it's right here at like 57. So I end up getting short at 57 for a split second. Look, you get a trade you don't want, you just get out of it right away. I actually made like a penny or two there, but who cares? Now, if AMC rolls over, I'll get that long trade if we can catch it in front of that 54. This is kind of these moves that I've been waiting for. These bigger pushbacks, either holding 55, maybe halting. Avoiding a halt in front of 52, 53. So going to look for that little bit of a dip buy. BNGO is also going to be a possible dip buy again, but I want to hold this one until we actually test the breakout here, pre-market high 790. We had a low here at 790 on the opening range. If we can hold that level, that's where I want to buy more. Brendan?
It's almost as they're going one at a time through this list. Clover Health, the next one to pop up here through day highs on significant volume, guys. Look at the volume today versus back on Friday. On Clover, another one highly shorted, guys.
All right, we're into AMC now at 56.20. I'm just going to try to scalp this out. If we can get like, you know, back up to 57, why not take this out and then just keep on refreshing ourselves on the downside here. So we'll wait. We'll average into 55s, and then we'll wait for like a 55 break, and then we'll see what happens at 54.50. So again, if you're trading AMC, man, you got to have like I would say some of these candles, at least on a 1 minute, 57.50 all the way down, like that's $1 there. So here comes another break. So we're gonna give this exactly what we just said right now, guys, back on AMC. We may wind up losing about 20% of our day here. If this breaks back down through 54.40, then we will be out and we'll give back about, and again, this is what I'm telling you guys have asked for this, so I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give back about 20% of what we made. We purposely don't give you our P&Ls, but for a strategy, I'm willing to lose about 20% back here to 55.50. So I've planned that accordingly. That's about all I can say, right? And that's like what we're trying to do here is give you guys our ins and give you guys our outs. So hopefully that'll help you. And then we'll wait to see where this goes from the upside right now. I'm hoping that we hold that 54.50. If we don't, then we're going to be out and we'll regroup and we'll give back a little bit. But hey, you know, it's just been that kind of a day today for us. So here it comes right back to the downside. Get ready, guys. Buckle up. This may be the retracement you're looking for in AMC if you're trying to pick some up on the cheap.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like this may be it as well. Like I took some in front of VWAP, but then this 55 break, you would have thought would give you that 54. I'm sort of staring here because I don't usually put a bid in on the way down. I kind of want to see it catch a bit of a bid in front of that level and then try to cross into it, guys. So watch out for that 54. That's been that sort of pullback line in the sand that I want to go with here. And I think there might be others. Obviously, it's entirely possible there will be others, guys, but this is the one I like right here, right now. I did just add to, oh, no, I did not. Did I get? I think I just added to BNGO as well, so getting back in on the dip there, but AMC is going to be front of the mind as we test this 54 level, guys. I think this could be a good one if it can hold that. If it breaks, I still think there's obviously a 50 level to the downside. That's more of a psychological thing. Brennan?
I just saw Context Logic. We were mentioning Wish, guys. We were mentioning C3AI with lockup expiration. This one coming on the 14th. As I say that, we are at all-time lows for Wish today, guys.
All right, if you're trying to follow along, guys, look at NEO. We talked about it here at the very, very bottom. If you're looking for a resource, you've looked no further. There's NEO right there, 42.50 breaks. Air horn. We're going right to the upside, man. 43 now, 43.05. Here's another 50-cent winner for you. So AI, $5 winners. AMC, $9. I mean, maximum was $8 winner there. AMC, big winner. BB, you guys saw the damage done on that one. And now you're seeing it being done on NEO. So a nice little move to the upside. We said we would look into this a little bit here. On a 20-minute chart, it doesn't really... Nah, I mean, that's why we took the break, because we're already up here. So 53.08 seems like, or 43.08 seemed like a decent out there. Maybe should have had that one. We didn't average into our AMC, so we're just letting it ride to the high side right now. We did not get taken out there on that. It didn't even break. I adjusted it down to 54, but should have taken some more long at 54.40 there. But whatever. I mean, we're basically back to flat now, down 70 cents on this AMC trade. So all good right there. The NEO in the money, 30 cents. But again, look at the NASDAQ coming to the downside. So scaring me a little bit about NEO. Don't know. If we break back down below 42.75, oh, that's not NEO, that's AMC still. If we break down below 42.75 right here, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm going to get out, man. Same spot. If this comes back down 42.75, we're going to get out. The NASDAQ wants to break, we'll let it break, and we're just going to get out of NEO. But hey, man, we're going to celebrate it anyways as we turned bullish and gave you the exact level there on NIO.
Yeah, I got a great dip buy. We talked about that on BNGO as well just a few seconds ago off that 95. AMC just broke 54, so I'm out of that one. BNGO, it was a good long, but I missed the chance. I was hunting for to get some more shares of AMC, never did, and then missed this chance to get the pop to 805 here in VWAP. So a couple of names coming back to the to the south side and then fading back in here. Now, did I get wicked out of AMC? Entirely possible. Yeah, it just broke that 55 very, very briefly. Whenever this happens, I'm like hunting for a better low. Do I get it? I don't know. We had two shorts on. One of them was a bit of an accident. Clearly, if you hold it, fair enough. I'm not going to do that, guys. I'm not going to hold a trade that I didn't want in the first place. BNGO, as AMC goes, one of these two is going to bounce for me before I get stopped, and of course it's going to be BNGO. The one that I didn't expect would be as strong. If it breaks VWAP here, I want to take some more shares out in the teens. I'm always going to get some out in the 35 to 40 range. I feel like if it does retake 855, that can always be a separate trade later on in the day. I think it might have the juice to get there, but you want to make sure you're taking some profit on the way because this is a bit of a pullback and the market is coming back in. You have to consider that some of these longs, which are great breakouts, if they can't hold these levels, you could be staring at this 50 level, which we liked earlier in AMC. It is very, very possible that that's the next level that I have a long trade. at $50 or in front of $50 on AMC, especially if it looks like it might be trying to halt into there and resists.
Flavius, thank you so much for the 20 euros there. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for all the love that you guys continue to have for us. We will look, Timor, we will look at CCIV, and then the price is irrelevant, so thank you so much there. Neil can take a look at BoxL. I don't know, I think you've been talking about that already, so BoxL for you, Neo, on a super chat, and then thank you so much, Flavius, as well. And whatever you guys can super chat is fantastic, and then if you are a member, we did talk about this already today, but if you're just joining us now, it's only a couple minutes away at this point. Coming up very, very soon for you. There goes Neil, by the way, a nice little 30-cent win. Today at 11:05, so just after the show. Stay on. If you're a member, hopefully you'll roll through. I'm not sure exactly how that will work. Normally that's a Miss V thing, but it should roll right through. We'll double check with that for you. But if you're a member, it's $5 a month. We'll be here with Arun. You can ask us various questions on our trading style and what we do, so on and so forth like that. Why we got into something, what our favorite food, what our favorite fruit on pizza is, things like that. You can always ask us those questions. AMC, yeah, back and forth there. Glad we got out at 54.50. We'll try again, maybe on this name. Have we just seen a possible bottom? Maybe. So let's just continue to watch AMC. It's been a big trade for us today. Fubo TV, of course. Well, I mean, not big.
For the love of...
I made 99 trades on AMC the other day, 100 actually. Now today, just 16. Fubo 29, bouncing off 30.
I want to be sick about Fubo. There was like one idea we had. Look, you're going to trade actively, and I've already traded over half a dozen stocks today, so you can't hit everything. But Fubo was one shot that we did like, and we missed it. BoxL, look, and thank you guys all for the super chats, and we'll talk about anything that is moving. It's not like there's news here, but if you look at, obviously, it's made a bit of a break at the 50 period, and then what stands out to me is this 274 top, which has failed. I mean, I'm never going to go long at 240.74 break, but that's not it's not an insignificant level. Try and take up this 275. Now, clearly, you run into some chop here from 3 to like 350, so you might get one of those like false breaks, which only gives you less than 10% here off of 75. This would normally be a kind of a rollover idea to the short side of the trade. But this is kind of a linear move up. Like, it's not really parabolic into it, so you wouldn't see me jumping into the short. The volume isn't that big either. But this is a big 75 level. It gets through there. Decent shot. You're testing that 3 to 350 range to the top side. So if you're a bull on BoxL, not a horrible idea to hold back maybe the previous close if you want to take a tight stop trade. I'll go back to BNGO just for a quick second here. Still in position. It just tried to crack VWAP. And then this is what happened. Like, just immediately a reversal. So as much as I'm seeing AMC try to get back to 55 and not getting there, I'm seeing the same thing happen to Bio Nano. I'm going to hold off until, look, either I'm getting prices down at this 790 level, 790 level, where I can use that as my out, that previous pre-market high, and then hunt back for some better prices, or just going to have to wait for this one to break. It is getting to that price point and the time of day where you don't have to force into that trade. So if BNGO wants the barcode, I'll hold the long in the money and then look to see if I can't get good prices in front of 790 instead of chasing these 8 to 805s. AMC, I just finished saying that it felt like it was going to roll back over. It did not do so. So we had that one last long that didn't work out. And I still want to see if it has any juice to the upside here. There's always a potential 56 breakout, which is that level that we had on the dip before. So we can always wait for that.
Okay, we'll hit the money bags. We did the opposite a little bit there. We were waiting for this 52 level right here. So we did take a 53.25. So now we're back into the money. And this is what I mean. Like, we'll take $1 hit and here's $1 win. So, it hasn't been crazy amounts of cash cow here today for me, but AMC still my number 2 stock. So we'll wait for that one. AI, obviously, you guys have seen the damage that one's been doing. But here we go, $1.50 now in the money. Does this run back to these levels that we want? 56 would be pretty sweet. This is a real fill right there, 53.30. So that's where we're long, 53.31. Upside now, 54.75, making that money back. We are at our day's high right now. So thank you to Brendan for some big names today. But there goes AMC, man, up to 55 again. Let's see how far we can go. You have a VWAP break coming at 55, basically 55 flat. It's 55, yeah, basically. So that's a good one there. 55.50 is the next break after that. So let's hold it, man. We just took a buck on it. Let's see if we can get 3 or 4 now to the upside. Maybe we retest 58. Let's wait to see on AMC, man. It's been a big monster day. Neo, AMC, AI, and BlackBerry. Can we say cuatro for cuatro? What's up, Brendo?
Hey guys, let's go to small cap world. We'll talk about a few here that we were dealing with in the pre-market that saw Big moves. I mean, this was about 50% at one point for LMNL. This was actually aftermarket on Friday. This thing popped up on news. You can see huge day and volume back on Friday for LMNL. 620, 650 ends up holding. That was a bit of a pivot going back to that aftermarket action on Friday. A bit of a slow, kind of lazy trade, but stress-free. It's still kind of grinding to the downside for LMNL. This RMED was a bit crazy off of the open. I was using 720 here, which was a pivot from the pre-market and this resistance area from back on Friday. Once we got short, doesn't work, obviously. Once we got above that, though, it gives you a nice long opportunity up to, what was the top there? 875 for RMED. Very, very thinly traded. So be careful on that one. The float as well, a bit of a problem here. And this next, finally starting to do something here, but it really was just chopping around in this range, was up at 335 or 325, 330 in the pre-market early on. But just trying to be patient with that. I'll give it to day highs for next, guys.
Next is getting too close for comfort there, as it's getting right back towards that like $3 area. And I'm trying to short more shares if it gets up to like 20s or so. BNGO just broke VWAP, so it's finally making that move to the upside. I'll take some shares out of 20s. Look, I'm happy that it's in the money here off that 797 long, but I do want more than 20 cents on this trade. For the rest of it, I did already take a scalp out here, so we'll take some more if it gets to that 20 range. I like 855. For potential breakout trade. That would be a separate one from here. So as much as I want to celebrate this one, I think the real power up is going to come when we get a potential break at that high of day. Good look on that AMC. I didn't get back into it, but I am watching it sort of reverse off of that same 56 level, which has been good a couple of times, like 56 for a top here, 56 for a nice little dip buy. I think if it does hold this level off, I'm looking for a pullback that holds 53 or that level from previously, like just a couple of minutes ago, 53.25. If it holds that, I'm going to like it. This AREC that I know some of you guys are talking about in the chat, this has been dying all morning long after a bit of a gap to the upside. About the only thing I could say for it is if you look at 375 or where it is right now, like 350, a bit of a previous resistance that maybe turns into some support, and a 330 close on Friday. Outside of that, this has been weak all morning. I'm not sure it has any kind of a bid till it gets to that 330 to 350 zone.
So we'll take $1.60 there and get out of AMC. So yeah, we noticed that too. We were waiting for 56 to take off, man. Our offer was at 57.58. So diamond hands a little bit, man. $1.70 I think is pretty good for some kind of diamond hands anyways. Not the kinds that a lot of you guys have. Remember, we are trading shares, not options, nothing like that, not weeklies. These are actual equity shares, which pretty much all the trading is retail, I would think right now anyways on AMC. Obviously there's more money in here, but retail right now pushing this thing around. So a nice out right there on AMC. I don't have any more bids. I don't have anything going on. I actually got to clean up some of these offers. So I'm going to refresh that and clean it up. AI right now is right at my breaking point. So it's right at 60.50. If it breaks that, we're going to get out of C3 AI, but this is not a horrible reload zone either for C3 AI. So I think
if it wasn't for that stacked offer, I'd already be in.
we'll probably, yeah, I mean, I know, I'm already in it. So C3 AI is already 64 short, but we are trying to break that 60.50 right now. So if that happens, then you got to fly out of there, guys. We'll take another short ahead of that 60.50, but if you break, then we're gone, and we'll just put all the money that we made in our pocket. We're at our highest spot we've been at all day. There goes Neo. So we left a little bit of money on the table, so we'll fire off a little bit of cash as Neo makes us 4 for 4 today. But yeah, we talked about that failing up here at 43. We left it, we should have, but again, guys, if you're here to make a little bit of money, I like that opportunity there on Neo to hold it through 43 and never come back here. But we did, we retested, and our discipline doesn't allow us to hold it, so we gone through NIO.
Yeah, sort of what I was getting at is like when I see that stacked offer on C3 AI, like I'd almost prefer when you're playing off of like a level like that, you're shorting in front of any kind of a pop, in front of like VWAP or whatnot. I just don't want to see like gamesmanship or whatever that happens to be. Like I'd rather just sort of be clean and normal trading. I don't want there to be like fake size. Or if that breaks, it's probably taking you right up to that like 61 level, which I'm already waiting up here to cash like a 62. That's been in there for a while. So if it gets to that price, I'm probably shorting it 2 times before we can get to that level. AMC does continue to pull back. I'm sitting here at 53s. Of course, that means it just stalled at 53.85. If it comes down a buck, I want it that long one more time, guys. And then that RMED, RMED, that is still looking rather strong. I had a pre-market short here. We had a short on that after the post halt. and it's holding up. So neither one of these has worked out. It looks like it's still making that push towards that daily high, well, on the daily chart, that 922 high. And if it gets up there again, that's, for me, going to be an obvious fade. That's kind of where I'm looking for it to extend into. It got pretty close on that 9 level, didn't quite go through, so there wasn't really that 9 break and then fail break that I could short into. If it goes again, I do want to have a bit of that party. And then if 925 goes, you can always have a long break at 925 on REMD. That's over on the Amex.
All right, just getting loaded up. Yeah, what a good, I mean, that seems to be a good out there on that VWAP break of AMC, saving us a little bit of cash there as we'll wait to see what else to do. I still have a lower bid on NEO in case it comes through, so I don't want to like forget about some of these lower levels down here into VWAP, but again, like there it is, bouncing right back up. You know, it was a good read on it, but failed on that level. So, okay, what about Palantir? It looks like it's trying to take out its day high right now as well. Palantir 24.35. Again, up 1% into a negative NASDAQ. That's why I like it. So, you know, I like this name into a negative NASDAQ. If the NASDAQ turns around, why not take this out? We'll go a little bit further time frame here on PLTR and have a quick look. 24.50 is a good level, obviously, but let's take a little bit of a day break here at 35. What's up, Brendo?
Another little one moving, guys. Express Spa. We've talked about this many times. Just checking. 11.3% on the short side for this one, but they run those COVID testing centers in airport terminals, mostly in New York. But moving today on big volume, it's worth mentioning. Volume is decent on this, but 150, a huge level here for Express Spa.
Oh, big level on Clover. Thank you guys. Scott H there, one of our members, asking about Clover. And look, the daily chart, you can show like 1050, blah, blah, blah. It just broke this 1050 high. Now, if you got this to the long side, and you probably do if you're looking at the momentum here, you're probably going to start thinking about like this 12. Look here when it held like 11 on a retrace, like 1065 up here, 11 even, also giving you that open trade at $11 in that particular session as well. So you look to that 11 for a take profit. I probably would wait for a bigger short trade, but I also like fail breaks. And 1050 just went. If it goes, I'm looking for an 11 short. If it immediately retraces, you know I love that idea of break a key level, don't go any further after a parabolic move, and then short that move and give it to the high of the day. The current high sits at like 1056. You can round that to like a 1060 or so. That's an entry I like. Clover just extended itself on big volume, guys. That was actually a big volume spike. Now over like 15 million shares on volume in Clover. So thank you guys for pointing this one out. Now, if it retraces back like to the quarters, of course, I'm going to like that for a bit of a profit take in front of it. And then I'm going to look to see if this can't maybe extend. You know what? I'm not even sure this gets to VWAP. It looks pretty strong. And I'm not sure it would even sell down into that $10 range before it would bounce. So I'd be all flat before like a 10 area on Clover Health. If it takes up the high of the day, then you got me, sucker.
Yeah, it looks like it may happen. I don't know.
You know that movie? Come on, you know that.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you, suck is the name of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully no sucker here as we took Palantir long. It goes up into the money for us about 6 or 7 cents, so that's not going to be good enough. But as we've looked already here at the highs on the 20 period, we just looked. So we're going to get some out if we get near 50, and then we'll see if we can't we'll get a third out for about a dime, and then we'll let the rest go through 24.50. And here it comes. Like, we just took this trade, guys. So hopefully we found that for you. Palantir looks like it wants to go on decent volume right now. So Palantir to the upside. Where's my offer? I thought we'd be getting out for about a dime. We're long at 37, so our offer's at 24.48. So we'll get out a little bit before 50 there, see if we can't grab that. But so far, so good on PLTR. That's a good one. And then BNGO breaking as well. Skills. There's so much happening, guys. You got to be long a lot of these names, that's for sure. Look at BlackBerry. Good outs there. 1490 barcoding right now. Let's wait for a 15 break. I don't mind that on BlackBerry as well. But right now my focus is on the only position that I have, and that's Palantir. Just stopped there at 47. I'm going to switch my order from 48 to 47 and just take a clean 10 cents on the first third, guys.
Yeah, and there it goes. I said you're going to get me, sucker. You got me on Clover there. Now it's breaking through that 1050 area. It's headed towards that 11 even. That's going to be that next area of interest. Now, we talked about C3I. I'm going to go right back to it here because this is also on the move back to the upside. Now, I didn't like that short at 60.50 because I thought there was some gamesmanship going on with that order flow. There is this other level here. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this offer. There is this other level at 61.50. I didn't give this one enough when it came to the 61.50, getting out on that previous quarters level. So I will take a shot here in front of 50s. I do want to stay on the south side of this trade. Maybe at some point there's going to be a long in C3AI. I'm not quite at the point of believing it yet, so I've just jumped back into this in front of that 61.50. BNGO is continuing to sort of cruise here, but I do want to get another leg out in front of the high of the day, which I mentioned I would in the 30s and 40s. It just crept into the 30s, so it's about a 40-cent winner. Well, shy of that, like a 35-cent winner as we speak. I'll try to get like 40 to 45. And I do like an idea of a long break here at 8.55. Now, it's not 8.50 because it did have a fail break earlier. Probably should have shorted that fail break in the morning instead of, obviously in Clover, but I was looking for that dip buy, and I try to favor one direction or at least have a bit of a bias in each individual stock. So I was never thinking short on BNGO, just breakout and then dip buys all morning long. It's been my most active stock, which is weird because usually all last week it was AMC every single day I was making the most trades on. Today is a bit of a different story.
Yeah, exactly. For me, the most trades for me today, it still is AMC by a long shot. We've just picked up some big trades on a few smaller names, guys, including, we'll give you guys an update. There's AI. We shorted it ahead of 50 again. It breaks 50, we get out. Easiest trade ever right there to get out at 50 as it rips back up to 61 and holds some of these 61 levels. 61.50, right now, we got to wait a little bit for C3AI. It got flushed out today, possibly back into the shorts, but we've just destroyed this name, so I think it's probably in my best interest right now to wait to see what happens and then get a clear head and see what we could do on this name through the close maybe, but never anything wrong with looking at stock. Everyone telling me about Ford. Ford, again, one of my number one stocks for probably 2021, I would say, not only in my own personal account, but also here live for you on the show. Down 1.5%, or almost 2%. So look here today. And again, this is why Ford's not on. I mean, you guys see all the names on the sticky note. We go 4 for 4 on all of these names. I mean, 4 for 4 on these 4 names. The only name that we didn't trade yet today is Tesla. So NIO, AI, BlackBerry, and AMC, 4 for 4. That's the only trades we have on. And then we have Palantir making it right now 5 for 5, but we don't want to take 5 cents. So, but Ford, another name right now, it's just so much. It's so accelerated. We talked about GM last week. They got a nice bump off that news. And I just don't love Ford at some of these levels. I think it's pretty high up. It's not high enough. Like, I'm not worried about selling my personal shares on Ford yet right now, but let's take a quicker look here at a 20-minute chart. Yeah, I mean, 1550 is a great hold. So maybe we get involved there at 1550. But until then, guys, maybe right here, actually, what is this level? 60? Okay, so if we get a dip down, let's take some bids now. We'll crack through 65. We'll see if we can't get some like 62, 63s, and then hold it. This is going to be a small trade, guys, only holding it to 60. So this is going to be a very, very small break, but I do like the way it looks now on Ford, just for a quick scalp, give us something to do heading into the close here, guys.
Close of the show, that is, of course. Wow, with only like 20 minutes to go. Look, I wanted 11. Of course, Clover is not actually going to get to 11. It goes to 1080. Then I wait until it retraces right back into the same area here. It's at 40, low 40s, into that 55, 60s. So again, same thing, start to position, see if it can roll over off that 60 area. For me, it's about trading setups here. Didn't actually catch that 11 even. I would have had to start that position literally in the mid 70s, which I just really didn't like very often. I'm not going to like that very often. The other one that we do still have on, and I just got in, was this little, I guess you can call it consolidation in C3AI off of 61. Now, it didn't quite get to 61.50. It's holding above VWAP here. If it breaks that 50 level, I still like, look, if it's below 65, I'm probably going to be thinking only about shorting C3AI. If it breaks down to 60 even, I would scalp some of this off and look for that low of the day around 59. AMC is not giving much of a pullback, so it doesn't feel like it just doesn't feel like it wants to give you these 53s. And the farther it gets from that price, I go ahead and cancel that bid. Like, I don't want this thing falling $3 and I'm blindly taking a long. I like that when it was hanging out down here at 54 and I wanted to catch one last little dip. But AMC on the march, it looks like 260 even, guys.
Wow. Yeah, we got out a little too early, I guess, but we could have reloaded on that one. So AMC, Actually, my number one stock. Actually, no, AI still my number one stock. Oh, it's dollars away from each other. AI and AMC, and then BlackBerry never had as many shares as that. And there we go, man. Let's just keep spitting the money out because there's Palantir. We're gonna go 5 for 5 here today on the show. I don't know what else to tell you guys. It's been a big show. It's been a big day. It's been a big month. It's been a big week. Thank you again for all the love on the sticky note and for everything. We're coming back up with our question and answer period with the Rune. That's going to be coming up very, very soon. Excited for that. You guys can watch that go. And then I'm just looking. And then the only thing is, like, we're 5 for 5, but could have been a hell of a lot more if we just listened to our own sticky note and not talked ourselves out of this stupid Neo break right there. This should be, again, guys, there's that 50. We missed the 52.50. Remember, we were talking about that when we missed it. We had to pay up for it. So we actually had to get 65s. We missed that break. Completely my fault. We had that. I mean, it's the number. It's right here at the bottom of the sticky note, guys. There's the 52.50 break. So we missed that. So we had to take 65s, but still super happy with it. And then for some reason, the NASDAQ, I just got too nervous right here. That's the same time that this happened. So out of Neo, but congratulations, anybody that held it. We'll do dap up for you guys. And I hope you're enjoying the show. And again, I hope you, I don't have Valeria here to prove to you the kind of day that we're having, but you already know that. You can see the damage at the bottom. I'm debating taking off, all those, how many pennies we're in, because it doesn't really matter. You guys just kind of want to see the trades that we're in now, not really the damage that we've done previously. But there it goes, Neo to the upside. 5 for 5 today, man. And now we're just going to chill and wait for the best opportunities.
Yeah, I'm watching the barcoding on CCL at the high of the day here. And of course, we talked a little bit about the travel industry. The only reason it's interesting is you look at this 31.50. It's a double top on the daily chart. We're hanging out. I think there's my 15-minute chart just crashed on me, so it's gone. We're hanging out here looking for a top-end break. Now, I know the high is 44 here, but I just gave you that look on the daily chart to show you it is 31.50 that you care about. High of the day about to go on Clover, so it's the morning trades are the best, and everything I take in those setups popping to the high looks like those are going to be failing for now, and that's going to be that Clover. I like CCL here for a 31.50 break, but I'd almost prefer, I actually would take it for more shares if we were able to bounce down, maybe hold the 25 area, and then make a consolidation break at 31.50. It's kind of a little bit, top heavy for me, and then grinding down in terms of volume. So the breakout's there at 31.50. I wouldn't be taking this 45 level, even though it's the current high of the day. I'd wait for that level on the daily chart. It's already time for Sector Watch because it is 10:40. So let's go to Brennan at the big screen now. Make him wait.
Hey guys, yeah, we are negative on the S&P. We'll have a look at what is leading the way so far. It's about 0.25% right now in the red for the overall market. It's mostly coming from the tech and industrial sectors right now as far as weakness is concerned. Consumer discretionary, and then the far corner, the little real estate group providing some strength, offsetting communication services and healthcare stocks also in positive territory. But let's talk about tech stocks. Pretty much the entire group to the downside so far. TYL 1.6. Visa here, 0.7 to the upside, but everything else as far as this group pretty negative on the day. Consumer discretionaries, it's mostly the travel names. Again, we mentioned the cruise line operators talking about early July restart dates for the cruise lines in the U.S. Those were U.S. restart dates, so they're all getting a nice bump on that. Penn National here as well having a nice day, 2.9%. Caesars up 1.7, but look at Wynn right beside it. 1.9 to the downside. MGM, LVS also in negative territory. So a bit of a mixed story here. Tesla standing out 2% to the downside once again. Ford right beside it, about 1.2% in the transportation group here. ODFL, JBHT, and NSC among the leaders for transportation names. Banks are also weak on the day. PGR here 4% leading in the insurance names. AON, CB as well. MKTX, Diversified Financials about 1.8%. So bit of a mixed board overall. We are just 0.25% though in negative territory. Guys, back over to you.
Earlier on, I was talking a bit about Roblox, trying to take a potential breakthrough there. Tried to get through that high, never got to 101.50, but a higher lows being put in, and the market's trying to hold up, and we're only down like 0.25%, not even 0.25%, so there is some strength here, and Roblox has been one of the better names. I like the positive, the negative to positive kind of idea here, at 99.50, right at VWAP is going to be Friday's close, so if you can get a little something here in front of this 98, going into what is going to be like the lunchtime trade, I'm going to like some Roblox if it can hold this level here, so just want to see a little bit more of a barcode or a test down. Either a bounce off 98 is a good way to get in, or a little bit of a barcode here, and then you take a little 99 break. I want a Roblox long at some point today, so we got to make sure we have it. C3AI continues to try to hold up here. So there was that kind of bonkers level, that 60.50, which I thought was gamesmanship. It shorted it once. It's now testing up towards that 62. Look, I'm not going to hold this all the way up to 65, but I'll probably take at least 2 tries on C3AI to stay to the short side of the trade. There was that one crazy flush at the open. I wish I'd gotten the out at 59 when that happened. We were sitting in here, and I just couldn't look the gift horse in the mouth and took it in front of 60 even. C3AI, I'd be shocked if it got positive on the session, and that will be at that 64.40. That's not the only reason I like 65 short.
Yep, another reason you guys should like it is because I like it right now as well. C3AI, good little level here at its VWAP on the 3-minute chart. We told you guys we weren't going to short here, 61.60 or so, but now we're back to levels. I actually pointed this 61.55 out to you guys not too long ago, so we got to go short there. So we're short 61.45 now on C3AI, but we don't want to give anything back like we were talking about all day. So we will go short there, and then if it breaks to 62, then we're going to be gone on this one. So giving it a little bit of a shot here as it comes back to the upside right now. Yeah, not a good one. I got to make sure I have the out there to get out, which we do. So okay, good on that last price trigger. Okay, good. So we'll take an average price now of C3AI and see what kind of damage we can do on this to the upside. But right now, oh, didn't print me there. So we'll take another fill here. I'll take some, there we go, take a 69 print there, whatever, I just crossed the bid. So that's crossing the spread there, right? So crossing in to make sure you have it. Again, you know, the kind of day we're having, like 10 cents on this is not going to hurt us, but here it comes breaking 62 now. So this may be a trigger that we want to watch out for. So 62, 62, 10 or so, a good out here on C3AI. Again, we don't want to give back everything that we've made, but you got to be conservative to some extent. So watch out. You break through 62, we're going to be gone out of this one. That's C3AI. A
bit of a double, I mean, it's a broken double top on Workhorse. Another one of these names that's actually too strong, and obviously I got stopped out here and never got the deeper retracement. That's kind of the story here. We got the long, it was a good break up to 14.30. We did the retest and then thought we were going to be able to buy some dips, and trust me, these wicks didn't happen, or I would have got it more to the long side. 15 even does loom on Workhorse. You can see a gorgeous looking chart here on the daily, but it does. It still needs to chew through that 15 even area for potential like multi-day rally that gets you up to this like 18 to 19, which stands out on the daily chart. So 15 going to be a big bullseye target for maybe the afternoon show, but also for that lunchtime trade. Workhorse, one of the strongest ones I do see across the board here, hanging at the top. Brendo?
Just having a look at Fisker. A couple of people talking about this one. FSR up 6% today. We got past that last little daily pivot there, 1640 it looks like. They're talking about being climate neutral by 2027. So not only on the car side, the actual car being climate neutral, but the production as well. So Fisker targeting 2027, guys, to be climate neutral for deliveries.
And guys, Fisker was the only one that I recommended here, and I'm glad we did. You know, I was in this name early. We got out a lot. I mean, I was in this name on the SPAC, so we did get some out into this 20 area, 25. I think my best, it's good now because you look at the price now, it's fine. But I think we only got like 24s or 23s, and I was pretty mad back then because I let it, you know, we could have had just a monster winner up here. But then, you know, to reload down here at 10 off of this, it just reminded me a lot of our Palantir call. So there's Fisker, man, just a monster winner for anybody that followed me on that trade as well. So we tweeted out that we went long Fisker. I talked about things on the 10s and things like that. So that's a nice little win right there for FSR. And then you want another nice little win. Here we go to the upside again with Palantir. So it is going to be a 5 for 5 day with nothing to even worry about now as Palantir continues to march upside to a beat of its own drum today. Yes, sir. Palantir up 2.2% into negative NASDAQ. This is exactly what we want. There's not a stock that I'm more loaded up on in my swing account than Palantir. So let's just keep on going, man. 1850 was our last buy. We didn't get that swoosh bottom. That happened on the show. So I can't buy shares while we're sitting here on the show. It's just not allowed. So we had to wait till after I got 1850, which is still fine. That stock was an absolute monster. But now up to 25. We broke through there, man. Next stop's the Palantir, the moon.
So, look, one of the stories that we came with this morning, of course, Brendan was talking about Biogen. It is now halted. I'm assuming that is going to be pending the result of that news that's coming out here. So you can always double check by going to NASDAQ Trader, which I probably should here live for you guys. Current trade halts. You can see Biogen's actually T1. There we go. So it is news pending, like we just said. I mean, look, obviously I can guess because I knew something was coming today and be right, but you might as well go right to a source. Of course, we're going to have that. If it comes out live during the show, I kind of doubt it because it's only about 10, 15 minutes. We'll make sure we're monitoring the stock. And obviously, there was a chance at a break. If this is going to be, if it's going to be bad news, you're probably going to be breaking down at minimum down towards that 270 level, guys. And then there's a potential for this jailbreak to continue to 300. So anyone watching Biogen, basically flat on the session after being as high as like 313. It's given back 20 bucks and now halted on news. We'll see if we'll get that to you if it does come out live.
I was wrong about that one. I didn't even want to look at that one today. It's a nice little mover. And again, this is the thing. We've done some videos recently, talk about summertime trading, talk about 3 basic strategies, things like that. You can find them on our page. Go to it ASAP after the show. Hopefully, you'll stay if you're a member for the Q&A. And if you want to go back, look at some of the educational videos. And that's all that I've done recently is chopped my list in half, or if not even more than that. Like, I don't care anymore about every single name, right? I used to make notes. If you go back to see my sticky note, like maybe 4 or 5 months ago, you'll see lots and lots of names on there to the point where, this would be jammed up. Now I'm actually writing like little notes on here. And I think it's just helped me so much. A lot of you ask, what's been the game changer? And it's just that. It's like preparation. It's trading the best names. It's understanding the levels. It's like staying away from a stock like Ford. Like we just called that down here, why we like these 60 longs. Remember, we pulled back a 20-minute chart. We looked at it. We analyzed it. We talked about this level right here back a couple days ago, 61. How low did this thing go? 65, 66. We were talking about it. And there's the pick. I didn't do it, but there's the pickup. You could pick it up off that level there and then straight to the upside. So just stick with me, like I'm getting better. Like as this goes, I hope you're getting better as well, but I'm getting a hell of a lot better at picking levels, using the proper share sizes, and then doing my best to give you guys exactly the levels. So please give me a follow on Twitter. Let me know how your trading's been, and then we can continue to celebrate the rest of 2021, which has been an absolutely banner year. I can count the negative days on one hand, 2 hands for 2021. So it's been such a monster day. Let's just keep pushing forward, and we'll see what happens here the last half of the year. But I don't see any reason why it can't be bigger and better than the first half.
It's just going to be trading different symbols. I think that's the big thing. Like we're trading. I can't think of the last time I was actually heavily in CCL or something. And last year at this time, or even like a few months ago, every single day it was CCL, it was NEO, whatever those names might be. Like now, if the meme stocks want to move, we'll trade those a little bit here, and it will come back, if only to Virgin Galactic here, because it is on the move. Once again, I'll show you the daily chart actually. If it gets to this like 36.50, I think it's probably going to round off a little bit. I don't know if this is like the Bezos thing that's making it pump, or it's more to do with the strength that you're seeing in the memes. But at this particular time of day, with AMC kind of holding VWAP here, if that breaks, you might see a bit of a pullback in Virgin Galactic. So whoever is actually watching this stock, not the top of the list for me today. I didn't think there was going to be much of a catalyst. Clearly, you're going to see it still make a nice little 5% move to that upside. Going to hang on to that C3AI, and it looks like Bingo tried to get up, and I have this order here that I'll just go ahead and cancel. Tries to get up to that mid-30s where I've been sitting around all morning long on these dip buys, and now we're rolling right back into 790. So I'll go right back to that level. I'll bid in front of it again. And I felt like this, you never know which one's going to be the most active today. But when I like to break at 8 and then you take that previous pre-market high as a dip, it's about the opportunities that come, and it gives you 1, 2, 3 times, maybe now 4 times at that same price level. At some point, I'm not going to keep buying in front of it. I think it's going to break it, like I said, and then give you a shot at like 750, which is the opening end range. So you rinse and repeat until it doesn't work. When 790 goes, it'll be my last trade at that price level, and the last one might be a loser. That's fine. We will have taken it long 4 times in front of it, so that's okay.
Okay, so Galantine, thank you so much for the JOD5. Not really sure what the JOD is, but can't even think. What is it? Jordanian. What up, Jordan? In the house. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, we can't. I've been trying to look into this. Not I, but we've been trying to look into this. We can't Twitch stream and YouTube stream at the same time. If you know how to do that, holler at me on Twitter, and not how to do it. I mean, we could do it, but then you get demonetized on one and so on and so forth. So if anybody knows of other streamers that are doing that, let us know, because we would just love to expand our our show. I mean, as much as possible, all the love that we get, I'd love to put it on both platforms, but let us know if there's a way to do that. Everyone shouting, I see you, Shakib, the hydrated one. NNDM here. NNDM, we'll look at that on the NASDAQ. There it is, $8, $8.15. Let's see what's going on. I mean, look, I do ignore some symbols. We've talked about why, but sometimes you can't really ignore them. Big move to the upside. NNDM right here. I would still look, man, 827's in range there. This is some consolidation right here at 8 and change. So if you're long right now, watch out for an 8 pullback. But the 8's been pretty smooth, man. Like, you got to be able to withhold this down here to 760 if you like the long on NNDM. So that's the one thing that, you know, again, we keep getting better. I do at looking at levels and being disciplined. So if you're going to take breakouts now, you got to take as many shares that you can withhold 50 cents. So watch out for NNDM here. You want to be able to hold it back to these lows. Don't just go long or short. Like, you can't go short here and say, you know, I'm going to get out at 20. Like, that's 5 cents worth of risk, right? Not enough. So you got to give it a little bit of room if you're going to go long. And the same thing on a short. I would wait for about 8. I mean, even 830 doesn't really give you, like, 15 cents on this isn't that much, but it might be better. So I'd give it to 830 if you're going to go short right now on NNDM off of that. So that's a couple ideas there. I would prefer the long back down in here without knowing much about this name. I'm not going to short this, but hey, only 6% isn't that much, but that would be my plan if you were short.
Yeah, and look, we're getting some barcoding here as we get into that 11 o'clock, and some names are going to, well, AMC in particular doing it off of this 55 level. I'd like to see this maybe give you a bit of a test back in selfishly, because if you want that that long, 53 looks like a fantastic one if it does come back in, but obviously everyone's going to be betting against it. And there was only one thing I wanted to see happen in Square. And look, you could have bought the dip. That's fine. Like 211. I never really saw anything back there that I loved too much. You could go back here, and I probably should have been more concerned with these levels here that you look back on last week of the 4th to take like 215, insert 211. Instead, it was at 15 top that we liked. It broke. It was like pre-market level, no volume whatsoever. It broke off of the open, got to the top end range of 50s. So I slided up 50 cents and say, hey, I'll just wait for 15.50 to go. And we get that long trade finally right here at the end of the show, or close to the end of the show, so square into the long side. If it breaks VWAP, you give it like $1.50 worth of risk. I do think if it gets to 220, there's probably some chop resistance here at 220. There's definitely profit out in front of there. And then there's always that shot of like a 220 even dollar break if it does have the juice to go. The market is trying to get back into positive territory, and Square's been barcoding sort of long enough, and one of these days it's going to do a secondary push. Look, could it be this one fine $1.50 risk to try and take some out for like $1, and on the other end of it like a 350 to 4 trade? Nothing wrong with that. I like the risk to reward on this. I did wait until it gave me the breakout, though. I didn't want to just buy that dip, which clearly would have been pretty solid.
And we haven't talked too much about crypto. Not much happening in crypto land today, as you guys can see. I bought more ADA. I just keep buying more and more Cardano, as looks like whatever this is, Ether, whatever it is. Ether continues to go to the upside. Palantir right now, guys. 25 cents in the money on Palantir. That's NNDM. But there's Palantir right now at day's high. Look at that break. 24. Not even a break. We just took that one. 24.35 on momentum. We talked about it being higher than the NASDAQ, and we like you. We like you a lot when we see that. What up, B?
All right, guys, a few minutes to go here before we wrap things up for the morning. I saw a lot of people very concerned about Valeria today. She'll be back tomorrow, guys. It's just a day off. Don't worry. Valeria will definitely be back tomorrow. Let's talk about earnings. There are a few coming up both after market tonight and before the open tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chewy later in the week is going to be the one that people are probably concerned about. Stitch Fix, I mean, it's up today. I'll give it that much. It's up like 6%, but not too much there that I think will get me off of the names that you're seeing in today's action, like your meme stocks and then some of the EV names. And hopefully the Square can actually continue some of these moves as well. But Marvel's a solid company. I like them. They're just not going to do a heck of a lot day trading wise.
No, yeah. I'm not, I've just been so hot fire on some of these other names, but I do like, okay, Tesla's didn't even come close. You know what's funny? Like, talking about new names here, we didn't really look at Tesla today other than the open where we talked about 600, and that never even came through, man. Like, this name, if you like Tesla, like, I may pick some up later on today at some point. I'll let you guys know over Twitter what we do with Tesla. But this little move down here to 550, like, if you're waiting, like, I'm Tesla for the long term. Like, I don't really need to wait for 550, but that could come in. Like, that's basically cut in half I mean, it never got to 1,000 clean other than when we broke. That's the split, right? 5-1. But 900 was the top. This is a beautiful retracement back down. If you like Tesla, right here, 540, 550. It's not a horrible spot to start digging in for some long-term trades. But this is just a one-day trade. If you bring this back out, Tesla right now testing that 575 bottom, which we liked as well. Down here. So we're at 580 right there. And then we've seen some action around 575. So watch out for that one heading into what should be, I think anyways, a decent afternoon as the market trying to get back to positive.
It's trying to get to that green level. I mean, Prad in Valeria's place, he wore that green. He's trying to do that, the yeoman's work there, and he did a fantastic job of supporting us in the morning and filling in for Miss V, who was obviously going to be back here, guys. So there's a couple of things. Obviously, AMC just broke this VWAP here, so I am still going to be looking for that dip buy, even though it's lunchtime. I still like that 53 level, and if it tests in there, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick little shot at it. Square got like 10 cents away from my order. And then, of course, you know that thing that it does where it turns around because it doesn't like me. That's exactly what happened here. It's still in the money now, but Square, that was a new position. Waited all morning for it, and then eventually we got that top-end break on SQ. Still going to hold on to AI short side in front of that 6250, and, of course, BNGO both holding. So don't really have too much to worry about here, although if Square breaks VWAP, I'm not going to be digging in and taking a $4 hit. If it breaks 213.50, that would be my out. Only a couple of bucks we're willing to risk on it.
Yeah, still waiting for some Ford to pop off maybe at some point, but doesn't look like that really wants to happen. We're still looking at Tesla. BlackBerry here, 1505. You know, some beautiful longs. We didn't take the very top there, but we will look to do that again with only 2 minutes to go. Join us after. Obviously, we talked about that. NEO now up, man. We dumped that. Congratulations, anybody that held that long, man. I hate looking at that chart, but again, I just followed the rules. Should not have. On that one, and that's going to continue to go. AI, we're out of that as that takes out the top. Again, at one point there, 5250 got me out. I still like Apple. We talked about that earlier. And again, Apple right now, like you guys want to talk about summertime trading and getting into different names. I mean, Apple's dividend is small, but they still do pay one. And I don't know, man, Apple right now not acting like the market's at all-time highs. So that's a little bit scary, but watch out for this. 124.90 break on AAPL could be happening. AHT, Ford, we already had that nice break. And then just to look back on AMC, give you my closing thoughts right now. That 57 has been so good, man. That was that 55 break that we talked about, and we wanted to get out somewhere around here, 57, 58. Unfortunately, we had held it back and got out at this VWAP. So right now it's bouncing around. I still like these bids down here. Wait for a break to bid down. Then you have your outs, 52, 50s, things like that. And then you could share in the upside. So I think longs in this area, 52, 53, 54, will probably be good for people. So watch out for those breaks on AMC, and we'll sit there and see if we can't bottom fish a little bit.
Yeah, and just noting, I know you guys are watching this MVIS. This is a good level here, this 2250, and it's just like 1, 2, maybe 3 times pre-market and 2 times off the open. I would just only caution, get this out of the way, only caution, like on Friday, it did make a hard turn at 23. That's the only thing standing in the way of a monster like 2250 kind of style breakout on MVIS. I know it's a good one. Like Sean said, make sure you stick around. We'll drop the link for the Q&A. Arun is going to be popping through, guys. It's always a lot of fun. Get your questions in and locked and loaded and ready to go, and all of us will be there to answer for you. It should be it's always a lot of fun for us to be able to communicate with you guys and then give a little bit of a feedback. And then, of course, look, it's giving something back to the members, and you guys are a fantastic community. So we'll drop that link in the chat and make sure we get it to you. But you know what I got to do? She may not be here, but for Valeria, in absentia. She'll be back tomorrow. And for Prad, doing a fantastic job. I know we can't hear him. He's probably trading with the headphones on and focusing. For my man, Sean Katina and Brandon Wickens, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. See you at the close, but hey, stick around for the Q&A.